Hey everybody, thank you so much for listening to KEKcast. This is Kek, and I first just want to do a forewarning. There is a bit of rambling in this video, and I'm working on a few things like the audio right now, but if you're looking to get to more important parts, you can go to the timestamps, but hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It's a great day here at KEKcast, your second episode. But quickly rebranding from Sage Talks. Last week we were Sage Talks, but I already rebranded. Super quick, right? Bought out. Already sold out, right? So, because we have sponsors. We're sponsored by Loser Dawn. I'll have an image soon. Essentially, it's just Dawn, but it says Loser on it. They're actually pretty high quality. There'll be a description in the bottom. I know that Saucy, he's actually a customer now. A great member of the Loser Dawn family, right?
Happy to join the loser club.
Yeah, I think your girlfriend tried to get you into it, right? That was the main thing.
Yeah, no, I was telling Kek that I would have bought 10, but I'm in the process of like collecting 10 winter dawns, and I'm like 8 out of 10. I'm like, I'm kind of committed. But my girl saw the dawn. She was like, "Oh my god, can you give me like 10 of them?" So then I had to order it, and then later on I kind of saw like how nice they were, and actually ordered one more for myself.
Oh, you ordered 11. I didn't know you ordered 11. Okay. Yeah. That's really good. I keep on giving them to random friends at locals, right? Because they see that, and I think it's the funniest thing in the planet, right?
Just give it one.
Yeah, I'll tell them, hey, there's a guy who's selling them. Join my Discord. So
that's dope. You need to start charging commission, man. 10%.
He wants to give me money per, and I told him, don't worry about it, but he probably will. So it's not a big issue. But to continue with this, I'm your usual host, KEKFILA, and joining with me is, or are talking to, is Saucy. You know, he's never missed an episode. You know, so how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Full and extremely ready to have some fun for the day.
Right. Yeah. I guess you had like I'm doing really good. Doing really good. It's the freshest Friday I've had. I got my teeth cleaned, no cavities, right? And then I had a haircut done today, so I have a fresh cut, right? I washed my sheets, and it's just a clean Friday.
Clean Friday,
May 12th. So
yeah. I have fun Fridays. You got clean Fridays. That's funny how that works out. No, I feel you, man. You got to get some errands done in the morning time, because later on, you know, you got plans, man. We got tournaments to go to.
Yeah, you're going to locals tonight, right?
Yeah, speaking of tournaments, right? Yeah, I'm going to Top Deck Keep again tonight. Actually, I did an episode of Top Deck Keep like actually a week ago today, and I won that tournament. Spoiler alert! But then I was like, you know what? I'm done here. You know, I didn't think I would be back there again for a while, but I lost my bottle, so I'm gonna try and stream that again.
How far is that away from you? I know in California time, 20 miles can be 2 hours. So
yeah, it's true story. Here, I'm actually out on the east side of LA, like past like way east past LA. So 20 miles is a reasonable, you know, drive out here. And Top Deck Keep, I want to say it's like 15 miles from here, so maybe a 20 to 30-minute drive.
Yeah,
not too bad.
Is that the one with the cool bathroom, or is that the other one?
Oh no, that one is in LA. That one is like the worst drive out of all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I would be okay to drive an additional 30 miles out than going to that shop, because there's a casino right next to it, and after work.
Yeah,
dude, it's so busy.
Which casino is that?
It's the I believe it's called like the Commerce Casino.
Commerce, okay.
Yeah, Commerce Casino. They're like right there in forget what part of LA, but
yeah,
right there.
Yeah, the only reason I even asked that is because there is like live streams of casinos games, and like the Hustler is really big, so I was just curious if it was like that, right?
I'm not much of a gambler myself. I tried my hand with blackjack. I'm like, this is not.
But it's just a different kind of card game when you think about it, right? Like,
I mean, I'm great at what piece, but when it comes to blackjack, the worst, dude.
Yeah,
I'm the worst, man.
You see that luck, right? I always call it. you ever I don't know if you play with a lot of people that play any cards, right? But I like to peel it off. They call it the Asian luck, right? You kind of slowly peel it really slow, like
Oh,
a
is that
card.
like a thing?
Yeah, that's what they call it. That's what
Ooh.
literally like these friends call it. And,
Yeah, no,
they're
I
Asian. I'm
don't have
like,
the Asian luck. Sorry,
yeah.
guys. See, I'm not your typical Asian. I'm like a jungle Asian. I'm in the
Oh, okay.
Philippines, so
Yeah, okay. Because I thought that gambling would be
yeah,
in
different
there,
luck.
but it's different luck. Okay.
Yeah, different kind of luck.
You're so funny.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I guess before we jump into like your locals and things, I know you record those new vlogs. Where can they find that? Like where can the people
Yeah,
from
man,
this?
check out my channel, Saucy Play. That's without the S. SAUCYPLAY. I do awesome One Piece content as well, and I mainly focus on more like
Mhm.
vlog centric videos. I do spotlights once in a while.
Mhm.
And now I'm kind of adding more gameplay footage, so I think it'll be a great time to actually start watching. So check that out, and
Yeah.
hope you guys like it.
Awesome. Yeah. Actually, I think before I talked to you about doing this, I think I saw a couple videos and the not vlog ones, and they were like the spotlights were really good, like super high
Yeah.
quality, right? Like
Hey, I appreciate that,
the
man.
animation. What do you use to edit? Actually, what is that?
So
Just
I okay, so I use Canva, which is kind of like the bane of my existence, but also it's like the greatest editing tool that I have at my disposal as somebody
hmm
who's like a novice at this.
hmm
Canva lets me do all the special effects and all that stuff
okay,
like relatively like easily. But
yeah,
the problem with Canva is like when you're actually doing like actually editing the video footage where you're like
hmm
doing, different things, it's very limited.
yeah.
So
Oh, okay. You can't like. Is it hard to cut the time
oh, dude,
frames
just
or?
really like anything. Like if I'm trying to speed up the film like 8 times, for example, you can't do that on Canva, or even
Uh,
4 times, you can't do that on Canva. You have to. The max I'll do is like 2 times speed. So I actually use
mm.
two editing tools. I use a free one, which I'll edit before, and then I'll upload to Canva, and then I'll do the rest on Canva. I'm like,
Oh,
I bet.
okay. Yeah, because I use DaVinci Resolve, and that's
Mm,
free, and it's pretty good. I use it on my
yeah,
computer. Yeah, and
I
that's
use OpenShoot.
oh,
That's the one that I use.
okay,
Yeah. But
yeah.
do you do effects and things like that too?
No, like maybe like a transition, like,
Yeah.
but
So if you have it on Canva, it's basically like a drag and drop. So it's super simple.
drag and drop
Like,
effect.
yeah, like it's really
Yeah,
easy. Like, and I figured it out literally in like
yeah.
an hour.
Maybe I
So
need that for like KEKFILA, bam, bam,
right, you
like.
trying to like be fancy and stuff. That's why I like Canva. Like they don't need to know the process, right? They don't know it's clunky as hell, but the end result is polished. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I don't even care.
That's
Looks fine.
pretty good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so funny. Um, I'd like to talk about some things today, but we'll probably. I like that our video was timestamped last time. A lot of people that messaged me or and told me that they really liked that it was timestamped, right? Future event cards, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of channels and things like that. But we play blue, right? And
Right.
so
Yeah.
it's
No,
it.
I think that event is gonna change the meta game. I
Mhm.
really do. It's
People are already
probably
saying
one.
blue deck best deck. So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, of course. This card is the card that's gonna propel blue to the
mhm.
highest echelon of tier.
The
But
card we needed. Yeah.
exactly.
Um, yeah, we'll talk about locals, and I think yeah, let's just actually jump into the store championship wave, and then we'll talk about what's going on recently, or your locals and my locals, right? I think
Sure, yeah.
I think the big thing people need to focus on is this information, right? Coming out here, this store championship wave, and I think it has to do a little bit with
Mhm.
national invites. I heard that there could be national invites, but it says here
Yeah.
some regions may not have national invites, right? Like, so I
Yeah.
don't really know if that applies, but usually that doesn't apply to North America. Usually North America is like, yeah, national invite. This is what it's for. I
Yeah, so I mean, I could be completely mistaken, but my interpretation of that was since the first time they announced like the initial like regionals, they said that only North America will these invites only apply to North America.
mm,
So I still had that same mindset going
yeah,
into it with the store championships where they said like, no guarantees invite to finals. I think they're
yeah.
just talking about NA, but what doesn't make sense is like if they're gonna do an invite for every winner at every store in the U.S.,
that's very abusable, right?
and Canada, like how many people are going to Nats? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and but that's also extremely abusable, right? Like, imagine a store that doesn't get anybody, or no one even knows that they have it, even though they're on the Bandai app.
Oh yeah, no,
that happened in pre-release.
I've already had people talking to me about like, like giving them the invite in exchange for like the win and stuff like that. People are already like talking about it because there's a lot of this going on before with DBS where it's the same system. So what they would do is like good players will like get to top seed, and then they would play like somebody that doesn't have their invite. The good player will be like, I'll give you the win if you just give me the prize. So
yeah,
they ended up like working it out like that. So
I mean, in Vanguard there was a system they had at your locals. You can get a buy card. You can get the first 2 round buy in a regional, right? And if you win your shop, and so
you can get a buy. That's insane.
But for Vanguard, but you get not a 1 round buy, a 2 round buy. It depended on how big the tournament was. If the tournament wasn't big enough, it'd be 1 round. If it was too big, it was 2 rounds, right?
Holy shit!
And so I go to locals and I'm like, I'm going there, but like no one's going to the regional, right? So even if like you lost, and like I think one I didn't win, and the other one I did win, so I was fine. So I gave it to my brother. Right, the other one, and so I was fine, but it's really weird, right? So
that's interesting.
Yeah, and then
imagine going to like a 9-round event and just skipping the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's what
amazing, dude.
Yeah, I went to an 8-round event. I skipped the first 2 rounds and I lost round 3, and I'm like, this sucks. Listen, I won the other rounds, and so I got the top 8, and then I got 3rd. But like, still, I'm saying that local shops, that's absolutely abusable. I'm not saying people will do it.
I can see where there's a flaw with that system though, because then like if you're going into it on the 3rd round like you did, you're like going into it like fresh, wet around the ears. You're not like comfortable yet, and you're playing against people that have been playing for like 2 rounds.
It also hurts my tiebreakers. Like it almost hurts you almost want to play, but like, it's kind of weird. No. You almost want to play if you're going to get top 8.
Also, you did mention something that was kind of weird to me. You said that you're able to give this to somebody.
So let's say let's say there's 10 people in a tournament, right? And only 1 person can go, right? And I already won. I already won the one from last locals, right?
Yeah.
And so like I basically give it a 2nd place, right? But the time there's only 3 of us for this one local.
Oh, okay.
So imagine a local that only has like 2 or 3 people, or people that even know about a tournament, right? And that's not like, it's not on the app or anything. And it's a shop challenge. Oh well, all the prizes. It happened in pre-release. Like I remember we're like looking at shops near us, and we're like, wait, there's a pre-release tournament tomorrow morning at Friday. Like, should we go? Like, we were looking at why is it $110 entry? So we called them and like, yeah, it's $110 entry for pre-release, and we're like, that's a scam. Like, that's gotta be ridiculous.
What the hell?
Yeah, they just said they could charge
like the whole kit. They're like, here's a quarter of the kit.
That would
go ahead and build a deck.
We would be fine with that, but we thought, what does that include? They said 6 packs. And a chance at winner smoker. We're like, no, like it's not
like some price gouging happening over there.
It sounds like easily reportable, but how do you report someone to Bondi? Can someone comment on that? Tell me that. How do I report to Bondi? That's actually
that's a good question.
Because
report it.
People see a lot kind of stuff, right? People see very abusable things. I know, I've heard of stores. I've heard of stores going to other stores buying out products because it was too cheap, right? And I'm not
out here too.
I mean, that's just business at the end of the day. To me,
I mean, but some merchants will actually say they're like a store, but like they could just be like a TCG player store.
How many
pocket all the promos?
I mean, you've seen people like on Facebook selling kits and like hundreds of promos, right?
Oh yeah.
There's no way they just I won my locals 100 times, right? And so
I'm just that good.
Yeah, it kind of devalues like your winner cards too, right? Which kind of sucks.
It does,
because sometimes oh my gosh, beginning of OPO1, dude, you go to locals and like you can't lose money. Like you just go there, do $5, $10 entry. You get your promo and you're like, hey, this Kaido's worth $20. You want to buy it?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Not to mention the winner cards and, like, the
Was
event
more.
packs, they were
Mhm.
worth a lot of
Yeah.
money. Like,
Yeah.
I was so, in the beginning of OPO1, I was, like, selling my winner packs. I wouldn't even open them. I was just selling them for,
Mhm.
like, 70 each at this, swap meet. So here in LA,
Yeah.
we have this basically like a think like a Walmart-sized building, right?
Okay.
Giant building. And every weekend they open up and all they have in there is like collectibles. So and then they literally have just like I want to say like 10 vendors that sell like all the card games you could ever imagine.
Mhm.
And so you could if you live in LA and you go to this place, it's called Frankensons, you can literally get every single card that you want
Oh, okay.
over there. Yeah, and it's
Huh.
always like a good deal. Like no shipping,
So,
like,
how does
you
this tie
know.
into your winter cards or your promos?
Okay, I'm sorry, I got distracted. But I went there and there's a vendor there that I know, and he was literally buying them from me for like 70 each. I'm like, yeah, dude, just take them out, man. Take
Yeah.
that. Give me the money, you know?
Yeah.
Pocket all that. So yeah, I was just selling all them promos early on. But now those winter cards, they're not worth anything,
They're
really.
not. Only like the Luffy ones and only the good Luffy
Yeah.
ones. There's two of them. You pulled like the bad Luffy one, you'd be like,
Oh
this one
god,
sucks. I don't want this
it's
one.
so
You know
bad.
the one I'm talking about? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Me
think
too.
everybody here knows what you're talking
Yeah. They'd
about,
be like,
man.
dude, I pulled Luffy, the wrong one. Oh, dude, this
Like
sucks.
either you get the most expensive card or
Yeah.
the cheapest
They
card.
would be really pretty though, and that was a collector. It was still collector's market time, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, now like I think OPO1 winner cards are still worth more than OPO2 because OPO2
Is
winner
that right?
cards, it's because it's just reprints and like the only thing is Ezo and the Winter Dawn. The Winter Dawn was really
Yeah.
hype at first. I should have sold it first. I remember I
Should've
pulled.
sold mine.
I remember I won my first local with that. Not like I won it before. I won locals before, but I pulled open that and it was a Dawn. I had Winter. I'm like, they make these? Like I didn't even know they made these. And then I pulled the other
Yeah.
one and it was just a regular Dawn. I'm like, am I supposed to have like a Frankie in here?
Like
They're
the
like, dude, you
winner and
pulled really
non-winner
good.
Dawn.
You pulled so good. That's
Yeah, that's the best card, man. You know what? In the beginning, actually, I remember Ezo was worth the most. But then as people pulled like as you know, their set of
Mhm.
Ezos, the Dawns started getting more and more expensive.
Now it's
But
back
even
again.
yeah,
I
even
think.
now I think the winter Dawn is only like $13.
Yeah.
It used to be like 40, like $50.
Yeah, but over time,
Insane.
people can like pull more. So
Collect them,
and all
yeah.
these shady shops are like, oh, it's selling. Let me open all these packs. So that's
Seriously.
there's probably stores out there that do that. But what I'll
Oh
go
yeah,
into is
they're
the store
everywhere.
championship wave. It starts on July 7th to August 11th. And final invites will not be awarded for all regions. So it seems that it most likely you'll be able to go to regionals, and we don't know what that even entails, but you'll see people at your locals come out of the woodworks that like, I want to say that are good and think they're the best, but they're maybe not the best, and
The
they're
competitive guys, you always want a healthy competitive environment. And
yeah.
I think this is great for the local scene because I've been noticing, I don't know about you, but recently in my locals, there hasn't been nearly as big of a turnout. Like
Yeah.
people are kind of getting tired of OPO2. Like I would say it's pretty much solved, right? We know the best
Mm-hmm.
decks pretty much, and it's like once people know and it kills that
Is
discovery part,
is OPO3
people
going to be
don't show
even
up as much.
better? Like, I
What's
feel
that?
like is OPO3 going to be better at all with that? Because the thing is,
I
also
think
reprints just happened, right? So for
true.
like stuff, so the hype for going to locals and getting packs isn't as high anymore.
Yeah, they came too late with the second wave, in my opinion. It's like they released the second wave right when like interest was getting stale for
Mm-hmm.
OPO2. And now it's like everybody has product and like the demand isn't as high. But regardless of that, I think this store championship announcement is gonna really bring a lot of hype
Mm-hmm.
back into the game. And I also think that pre-release is gonna be a big portion of that as well. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think yeah, for sure, people
Yeah.
are gonna come back.
Yeah. Pre-release is a big hype actually, especially if there isn't
Mhm.
a lot of product. But
I mean, I'm
uh,
gonna be grinding it out because I didn't get
yeah.
any boxes pre-ordered. So I'm like, I just gotta play.
Uh, I don't have any boxes pre-ordered as well. My shops are doing some pre-orders now, but like
Oh yeah.
I don't really know if I need anything for Doflamingo, right? Or
You need the event. There's the
Ooh.
the bottom deck of 4 cost.
I guess I could just get that from my friend. Is it like an uncommon or something, or is it like a rare?
It's like a rare uncommon.
Oh, okay. If it's a rare, that's fine. Yeah, I can get that. But
yeah, I'm a goldfish. I need to foil out my deck.
Yeah,
So
you think so? Is your Doflamingo foiled out yet?
Oh yeah, dude.
Was it foiled out before?
Dude, and I have Straw Hat Don too. The English.
You do?
Yeah.
Dude, you're balling out here.
Yeah, no joke. I would not. Okay, first of all, guys, I don't need you guys to get the wrong impression, but I would never spend $1,000 worth for some Don. Okay, I went to Montreal.
It's an investment.
It is an investment. I get that, but I wouldn't. I went to Montreal and I was buying those the offline Straw Hat Don for like even I was paying 50 Canadian for each of those. And if you guys don't know what the conversion is, it's about $40. So I was able to get like a bunch of them for 40 bucks each, and then like I just sold it here and then like traded for the missing online ones that I didn't have. So
yeah, it's just sort of like its own pool of money.
Yeah.
Like poker players do this too. They have their own bankroll, their pool of money. So now you have your own pool of money. It's just for one piece, right?
Exactly. Like
you need a little bit of investment.
Fund the game.
Yeah.
But you just gotta keep on winning.
Yeah, but after I topped my regional, I foiled out my Doflamingo deck. So yeah, because people had locals.
Oh wow, they foiled out their. Are you talking about me?
No, yeah. Well, did you foil out like your 3 costs, your 9 costs, your?
Oh yeah. No, my deck has been foiled out since like OP01.
Mine wasn't. Yeah. So.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was a mid rarity person. So.
Yeah. No, I'm a. God, I really didn't want to get into the foiling scene of this game, but the cards just look so nice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
I think you got to be smart with it. I think you're smart with it. Maybe you weren't. Were you smart with OP01? Were those impulse buys?
So with OP01, a lot of my packs I pulled, and then like I traded, or a lot of the foils I have was like trade, and like I pulled them, and then I just bought the remaining from the swap meat place that I told you about. Yeah, they got deals there. So I think overall, for sure though, I'm like net positive on my gains in this game.
I mean, at my locals, I just bought and sold from friends because they liked me and they said, "Oh, you topped with Doflamingo? I have these cards." And I'm like, "Would you do it for like 80% TCG?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." Because like I'm not gonna resell it. So
yeah, exactly. That's what I did too. Like I would never buy like full TCG player or even TCG player low. I wouldn't,
unless I really needed it, unless I really
it's like a cosmetic, like alternate art, especially. You better hook it up. This card is like $100.
The most I've spent that's been over TCG, and it's like most ridiculous thing, is just the super pre-release. Although the pre-release cards, not the super pre-release, but the pre-release, like the Doflamingo 1 cost.
Oh, those stamp cards.
Yeah, I pay like $5 for each one. I just call it $5 each. And Gecko Moria.
I was a victim of that. Like I bought more than I need to admit.
I have people that are still looking to finish their collection. They're trying to get one of every card and one of every pre-release stamp of those. So they still need stuff.
Dude, if they need stamped Doflamingo, I have 5 of them because I ordered them on accident.
Probably not. You ordered too many on accident? Okay, maybe you thought you need
3
more.
Of them on accident, and then I realized I had 3 already, or 2 already. I'm like, oh, shit.
I get it. So at this regional, they have some sleeves. This Luffy sleeve, right? This is like the face of their game. This is like the face of their game. This card.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's the best Luffy art I've seen personally.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the blue one. The blue one's
and then I don't understand the differences. There's store championship participation and store championship participation pack. It looks like they're both the same thing, but because I don't.
Maybe they meant the winner pack.
No, there's a store championship participation and then top 4, and then the winner pack is just a trophy card.
Oh, you know what? They're telling you how many you get. So if you get top 4, you get an additional pack. So participation, you get 1, and then for getting top 4, you get another 1.
Yeah, I mean, and people aren't gonna care for. I mean, black players do play Rosanade.
Dude, the art on that card is freaking insane. Like it's so dope. I would get 4 of those.
Cool.
I don't even play that. And
the thing is, we assume this yellow is gold, right? It's all gold stamped, like Yu-Gi-Oh gold stamp. That hasn't really been a thing in this game yet.
Yeah, even the number, it's like gold.
Yeah, Yeah, that's the hope, right? And the Gecko Moria, oh, super good. I saw this, wait. I just whatever that.
There's 2 promos I'm waiting for. This one now, and then the Mihawk 4 cost that I'm waiting for.
Oh yeah, I know exactly the one you're talking about. The one that has Perona behind him, right?
Yeah.
So
and then also actually there's a 1 cost law promo coming out.
Yeah, that one too. That one's good
that one
too.
I'm excited for.
Yeah. This card looks really good, right? Because it's a blocker out of trigger, right? So that
card's really good.
Yeah, the only problem is this. You would never like play it at the thing, it's like the boa. It's exactly like the boa, but yellow. But yellow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Can see their life. So, but then this Nico Robin, pretty good. Already gonna be $50 per, maybe 40, maybe 30.
Guaranteed.
30, guaranteed. Maybe 30 plus per card.
Most expensive of those set of promos. Yeah, is gonna be the Nico.
Yeah, this one might be inflated.
And
Gecko Moria might be inflated. People are playing his other ones. There are black enthusiasts here. My friend, he max rated his black deck. He already sold it. Now he's a mid-rarity person. But
there's only 2 colors there I think they messed up on. That's purple and green. I don't think those 2 cards are like staples in
I think this card looks really good. It looks like a really good card.
It does look dope.
No, the actual skill. I've seen this card before, but it doesn't work. Yeah, if this was like an Impel Down kind of card, like a Minotaur or something.
I think it's just missing a keyword, maybe.
And then, oh, dude, I don't know. I think this card's fine. People do play this card, like, as a 2K counter, right?
In green.
Yeah. And so...
maybe like the new age kid players, OPO2 kid players, they can run that.
I guess what would you play instead of this, right? Because... like,
I mean, green has alternative, like the Ezos.
Ezos are already there. Ukiku's already judge stamped.
Oh, you're saying like if they want to run more 2K counter options?
Yeah, I guess you just do. Oh no, what's the broken one? The one everyone plays. The 2K counter that everyone plays because it's searchable off. Apu. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good.
Apu and then the Ezo.
I think that'd be good, or beige, but like that. Then that'd be like really
you're
good.
saying like what else would they? Yeah.
But this is
Betty, that would be good.
This is okay. People still play 2K counters, run 2K counters, right?
You know what?
I would
say one thing about that card that will help it sell is that it's chopper. People fucking love chopper.
I also think the skill's not terrible, right? Like
it's not.
The skill's actually not terrible either. So
I feel like it's good against other green decks. Just the rest of
it's good against law.
Or in law, I guess.
Yeah, it's good against law. Hey guys, it's good against law. It's pretty good. So okay, and then there's that, and then they're trying to promote.
Let's talk about that Luffy card for a second.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty stoked about that one.
Oh, by the way, this is a misprint. This is a misprint, by the way, down here. They misprinted the skill.
Really?
Well, this was already been a card before. This is already a promo. So it's supposed to just be Dawn X2, this game's Rush. But this KO up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 5 or less, that's a misprint. That is a misprint. It's a miss.
Oh, I didn't even read that. I thought that was just like explaining what Rush did.
Yeah, exactly. But this is a I don't know how. Ooh. It's not even a misprint. It's like a misinterpretation. But this card's already been printed. You know the winner card from Super Pre-Release? This was the same card. This is the same skill, right? My brother won one of these, and I should have went hard in this game to win one of these and get for like $1,000. I think they're still selling for at least $1,000, right? But this one will probably sell, a couple, like maybe a couple $100. And
the art is pretty cool.
Unfortunately, it's not too usable.
I wish it did what it says. Red would be like unstoppable.
Yeah.
That would be fucking.
Yeah, but I wish this card was more usable. But
yeah, I think it'll.
If it was the 5/6, it'd be broken. But yeah,
right, 5/6 maybe, or red gets all the broken cards. Make it a 5/7. Shit.
No, I mean the 5/6 Luffy from the trial deck. That's what I mean.
Oh,
like
the 5/6.
Yeah. We're just honestly, this is a collector's card. People will play this one. That's fine. Well, I don't talk too much about marketplace stuff, but that's great. And with that, in your store tournaments as well, in June, coming set 3, they have they have different promo kits, right? And so now it's these ones. So it's the Booby Nami, sorry, the Muddy Nami, right, from the trial deck, and then Julie Bonnie as well. So yeah, they have Bonnie, which is probably going to be the more desired card out of this, and probably the better card out of all these 4 cards. And
Yep,
then Who's
I agree.
Who? This card's tilting, but no one's really playing this. No purple players actually playing
I see
this.
some Kaido running it as like a 1 or 2 of, but yeah, no, you're
And
right.
then Sentomaru as well. I think this card actually good, but just a
I agree.
promo again. I think
I agree.
we didn't talk about when set 4 comes out. Do you play this now? Make your board as wide as possible, but then you play the new event. It's not bad.
It's possible because you're not forced to run top ends as much because now you have an answer to other top ends.
Yeah,
right?
you could just go wide. You could just play 3 and 4 costs the whole deck. Like
yeah,
the entire
seriously.
deck can be 3 and 4 costs, and yeah, that's fine.
I mean, personally, my deck is literally aimed at that to begin with. I'm actually running only 3 Mihawks right now, and the rest are just like 4 or less.
I switched back down to 3. I'll tell you what happened to my regionals too. Like,
dude, let me tell you, yeah. I switched back down to 3 because I switched to 4 like last week to try 4. Oh, dude, I literally like there was one game at locals I played Zoro, right? And like you just don't have time. By the end of the game, so end of the game, I had 2 Dawn up, right? And I had 2 Mihawk. No, 3 Mihawk. No. It was 2 Mihawk and a Law. And I had a Love left in my hand. Or no, and I had like 4 bricks actually. I had 3 Mihawk, a Law, and a Love. And when I played the Love, I missed it out because I couldn't draw from it because I had all my freaking top ends.
Yeah, it can clutter your hands sometimes, and that's we'll go into that exactly too. I just changed some of my ratios around too, and I like it.
Yeah?
I just changed down I'll show you the deck list when I'm running this next Saturday. But
right on.
I just basically just got rid of a Mihawk and a 1 cost Doflamingo. So now I'm running 2 and 3. So there's only 5 cards that have no counter now in the deck. So
how's the Dofi been for you? Because I'm like always on the fence with that card. I'm always back and forth.
It's very good. Let me think here. It makes your deck a little more consistent. So if you don't see a Perona, you see that, and maybe you can see a Perona in the top 3, right? To set that up. But regardless of that, it puts Law and Zoro in a weird spot where they have to Vista it, right? Instead of, let's say, they have to use that instead of like using an Otama and Visting, let's say, another card, right?
Yeah, it's a suboptimal play.
Yeah, they have to deal with that. And if they don't, and it gets some decks, you place it down and they just go crap. Like on 10 Dawn turns, some 10 Dawn turns are place down Mihawk, place down that 1 cost. And they go, oh, the next turn I lose. Because all they had was 1 cost blockers.
Like a weenie blocker.
Yeah. They had 1 cost blocker, and they've already swung them this turn. They can't do anything, So
that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's an interesting thought.
Yeah. And then
for me, it's been kind of weird because the if you draw it in a hand that you have Perona or Dofi, the 3 costs, you're really not gonna have another opportunity to like capitalize on that card because when you already know what's off the top, so you're really only playing it as like for its effect at that point, or if you need an additional like 3 deck check. But if you go turn 1 Perona and then you go on your 5th turn where you have extra Dawn to play, it's like you don't really want to play it on your 3rd turn because you already know what's coming. So it puts you in a weird spot sometimes.
Yeah, it does, and sometimes we can go over that in just a moment when we go over the deck. If that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
And the winter cards, it's the same cards, right? I don't think you'll see this card get played, but people still want it for their collection. This card will absolutely get played. Go ahead.
I've seen a lot of people here in LA running Luffy now. Luffy is like the number 1 play deck here in LA right now.
Yeah, people switched to Luffy because of the top recently, and
it's a solid deck. And
they're playing the Master.
Some of them actually run the Nami, which is really interesting. Yeah, it gives you an extra attachment every turn. With Luffy, it's 2 every turn, and that's just like pretty insane actually.
Yeah,
you get a free swing for 7 every turn essentially with
it can swing at Bonnie if you really need to as well. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Then we got Jewelry Bonnie. I don't really know. I didn't ask this before. How much One Piece knowledge do you have? I'm in episode 270, like Water 7. Like
I'm on like season 1, episode 6.
Okay.
So
all right, got it.
So not a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know this character very much, but she's eating some meat.
You know, I think she's the. Oh no, I don't know who she is.
She's a supernova. I was gonna say
she was the. Huh?
She's a supernova. Part of Body Pirate.
Yeah. I thought she was the innkeeper in the beginning of the show, but that's not it. That's Makino, I think.
I don't know either. But
sorry guys.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, just casual. We're just kind of weeps. So,
we're just card game players that love One Piece.
But this card's gonna be pretty good valued. This card's gonna be like, oh, I pulled a who's who. Dang it. Right?
I know.
Even though the art's pretty cool of this guy. And then
I'm not a fan. They like did a whole they made it like some art nouveau, like some weird painting looking style. Like it's not my vibe, but
really?
you know. I like my cartoony anime.
And then Sentomaru. Is Sentomaru a guy? That's a guy, right? The haircut gets me confused.
I want to say it's a guy.
It looks like he's in a sumo suit too, like sumo underwear.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone told me it was a girl though.
Yeah,
I'd be like, oh okay.
Yeah,
you know.
You
know what I do like? I like the fact that they changed up the art on the winner card for Sentomaru. I don't know about the other ones.
Yeah,
but it looks a lot different.
This one, it just zooms in. This one has.
And then they took out the pacifistas in the background.
Yeah, this one's the only one that looks different, actually. Huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They kind of changed the background. I
guess this one's like a little bit zoomed in, but these two are just like the same card. So
yeah, they're just giving people more of what they want to see, man. I just love that.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
jewelry Bonnie crotch. What the heck? It's too much.
I didn't understand that. Like, what's that pose? Is she like sitting on the grass or
yeah,
what?
She must be sitting down on the grass. Yeah,
very
eating some meat.
You know, provocative. Eating her drumstick.
Yeah, and then they have a how to use Bondi because you know, if you didn't know, nobody likes using Bondi. Especially, it's like 1 out of 5.
No. You know why they put that on there? Because everybody needs proper training to use that app because it's so dang convoluted.
What does this bring up? Oh, it just says download to get started. Pre-register your deck list. I'm not going to do that.
That function doesn't work. The last time I tried to use it. Yeah, I think they're still trying to fix it, actually.
Oh, at least I have something. Most people just show up to your locals and they're like, oh, crap, I've never used this before. And you need somebody to show up.
Yeah, that was me for the longest time.
Really? Oh, okay.
I would just have the store owners be like, can you just add me as a guest? And they're just like, all right, fine.
Oh, okay. I just use the Bondi app. Just sign up for them ahead of time, too. You know?
Yeah. Somebody had to give me a full tutorial on them before I could figure it out.
Yeah, but I always have people, and I'm somebody at locals, like, let's get this tournament going. I have a girlfriend I have to go neglect.
You're that guy, like,
yeah.
Here, let me just help you with this. Done.
I want to get the tournament going. I'm really big when it comes to time, you know, when it comes to time at locals. Because it's in the evening, people need to go home to their family to neglect their family, right? And
I respect that.
Yeah,
got lives, man.
Yeah,
be waiting for you.
Yeah. And so time is a big issue when it comes to locals, right? Because
it's tough sometimes because there's a lot of players that are just like, you know, last minute. So you gotta like wait for the stragglers to come in. Like
if they're, I always say if you're gonna be late, let the people know at the store because maybe we can like sign you up and then like. They walk in 5 minutes. No, not a buy. They come in 5 minutes late, and then they just start their tournament. They have to be faster. It depends on the person. If they're a person who's slow as heck, then yeah, it's you know, let people play their first game. Basically, you can even add time for first round.
That makes sense. I think that's fair. I mean, I personally do that as a courtesy to the store owners. Like, bro, if you're gonna be late, let them know because you know. And also, they're not always going to be waiting for you. So they could be started the tournament. Sorry.
Yeah. You can't really be mad about it. You can be like, can I join in round 2? Because I wanted to play, you know?
Right. Get the game lost.
That's what I care more about is playing rather than
playing the game.
Yeah. So
I feel you.
There's a difference between like 2 people showing up like 20 minutes late, you know, and they play each other. And then they also are slow players. Right. So I've had that before and I'm like, I've never come to this locals ever again.
Like the longest game in the game. Yeah. No, I hear you, man. It can be a grind sometimes.
Yeah. Tell us at your
Also,
locals. Who's the slowest player at your locals? And do they know that? Do they know? Are they working on it?
Everybody knows who the slowest player at their locals is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a fast player, but I'm not the slowest player either.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like a
you only need to be fast
below
enough.
mid.
You
I
only
would
need to be
say.
fast enough. You know, there's
Yeah.
one player at my locals, Paul, and Paul's
Shout out to Paul.
shout out to Paul. He's a very good player, by the way, very good player.
Oh, there you go.
So
there you go.
he's a smoker, right? He smokes cigarettes all the time, and so it's an incentive for him to play faster because he wants to go out to smoke. That's literally his incentive. It's
he should play smoke. Does he play smoker?
No, he plays Whitebeard and Zoro. He plays Fast X.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's funny you brought that up because I played this one guy and he said he played Zoro because he has ADHD and he has to get through games. He just gets too antsy, so like he plays Zoro. I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of smart.
Yeah. Play slow decks against him, you know. So
no, and I was playing Dofi, so I see him just like.
Yeah,
like getting like jittery while we're playing. I'm like, oh, dude, I need to speed it up.
There's another guy at our locals. I've only seen him ever play one tournament. I think he plays primarily Pokemon. And this guy like live streams. He has like a little thing to a camera, and he's like literally yelling at the phone. And so you're playing a game against him. So you like hear him yelling, "Hey, yeah, how's the chat going?" And he's one time scooped a game, and he flipped a coin. He was gonna lose. He was gonna win, right? But he flipped the coin in the middle of the game, but it was going to take like a lot of turns because he's playing against green, right? He's playing purple against green. He flipped the coin and he said, I forfeit, but I let the coin decide, you know, because the other guy, I know him. He actually does play too slow. And he also plays green, right?
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And so,
like, do we grind this out or just say
it's actually a strategy sometimes to play slow. So your opponent maybe with ADHD has to forfeit.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, that's low. I don't need it. I'm not that desperate.
Yeah, I don't think you need to. Yeah, we called it a separate strategy. It was pretty funny when I talk about it with my friend, but he says, oh, I don't try to. He just kind of is, right?
Yeah. No, I think some people, it just like, they're very into their head. They like play like fucking 5 turns ahead and they think about like every possible play that they can make.
Yeah, it usually ends up coming because they lost a previous game and they're like, what did I do last time? They're almost thinking about a previous game. What did I do differently? What do I do differently now? So
right, some trauma involved.
Not even that. Yeah, PTSD from other cards, you know?
Yeah, I think what helps me, and this could be a good tip for like people that are trying to speed up their game, like remember your guidelines. Like, for example, if you want to guarantee a kill or guarantee like to drain your opponent's hand, swing for 7. Like, swing for 2k more than the attack, and that almost guarantees a kill on that character because your opponent, more times than not, they're not gonna want to discard 2 cards to save 1 card on the field. But if you really want to guarantee it, go for 4k over. That's for sure. Because nobody's going to discard 3 cards.
My advice actually is play more solitaire with yourself and pretend you have an opponent. Even let's say pretend you have a bad opponent, pretend you have a really, really busted opponent, right? And just know kind of what your cards do. Doflamingo is really easy to do that. I think the Doflamingo is the most busted deck. I'm like, dude, what the heck? How did I get 3 cards out? My field's full. But
I do solitaire all the time when I was learning Dofi. It helps you get used to like remembering the top 5 cards of your deck and like how the turns flow and knowing what cards to play at any given turn. So I think that's great advice, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So speed it up, people.
Speed it up. But the thing is, the more games they play, the more they're going to speed up. So it's not like it's not going to change. Of course, these people will speed up. I think my locals, that guy has sped up, right? A little bit, right? I think he also plays black now, so it's very linear. Just
play red, guys. Just play Zoro. You want to speed it up? Play Zoro.
You think so? Yeah, actually, good choice because we were really good at Zoro, right? We're really
Whitebeard puts you on a clock. It's like, oh, that's okay. You don't have to speed it up, but you're gonna die if you don't speed it up. Your deck's gonna kill you.
Yeah, you do have to have a strategy going into it,
That's another level
right
there.
Yeah.
But
what's the worst deck to pick up if you thinking what's the slowest deck in the game?
Law. 100%. I think Law or like Blurple Croc. I probably like Blurple Croc, honestly.
I think Blurple Croc's more linear, but It has a problem. You need to build a field, and it's hard to build a field with Blurple Croc.
That's why it's slow for me. It's not necessarily the player, it's just the way the deck plays. It forces you to like control their board before because you're controlling their board before you're really building your own to like go for face. You know?
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. But I guess we were still segueing. This whole thing's a segue, okay? Everything's a segue.
It really is.
We're just talking about everything.
What were we talking about?
I guess with this, locals. We'll just go into your local. How have your locals been? What's that meta like? How many people show up to each kind of thing? And what would you say if someone was listening from your locals? Hey, you guys should like try to aim toward this kind of deck, right? If you're trying to win the store championship.
Yeah, I mean, I guess out here, you know, if you're talking locals, I'm the guy, man. I'm the locals guy. I'm like I go to like probably like 10 different stores as my locals. So it's great to like be able to it gives me a great sample of each scene, right? And what I'm seeing here is like different locals have their own different metas, man. Honestly, there's certain locals that I know that I go there, I'm gonna play all red players, like all Zoro, all Luffy, all Whitebeard, like, you know. So I usually will try to like bring Doflamingo when I go there because that's great matchup against Red now. But then you have more like control centric meta games at different locals where they're just playing like green, they're like playing purple, and like they just like that slower play. So for me, it's pretty diverse, honestly. But what I'll say the commonality of it is like there's a lot less people showing up right now. And I don't know about your local area, but for me, I think people have felt like the game's gotten stale, not that it's kind of solved like what the best deck for OPO2 is. And it's not as like bustling as it was in the beginning of OPO2.
There's a lot less creativity right now. I think that's true. The game's still fun. It's just a lot less creative.
It is.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, for me, what's kept me like entertained is like playing other decks. Like I've been playing Zephyr a lot in locals, and I'm playing like Ivankov. The only time I'll play Dofi is if I feel like the stakes are too high, you know? Like we have like Romance Dawn box tournaments, and like they have like the 2-player playmat tournaments.
Yeah.
We'll have like manga card tournaments here, you know, like it just depends on the stakes.
You got to show up those tournaments, right? So yeah.
Yeah. And then those are usually like pretty busy too. So you can't mess around in those.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, your last point, if I had to say what deck to run in like the championships, I think your best bet is just really getting comfortable of like what's winning at the time. If you're seeing a lot of tournaments where Whitebeard, for example, is winning, maybe it's time for you to pick up Whitebeard or play a deck that doesn't lose to Whitebeard, right?
I guess you'd want to aim your deck to be whatever you're facing the most, right? At that time.
Like either you go with the meta or you go completely against the meta and pick a deck that can beat that.
A lot of my locals in OPO1 had 0 green, so I had to aim my deck toward that, right? And in OPO2, right now it's really law heavy, right?
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so now people have to aim toward that, which is now a lot of Luffy, right? In response to that, right? The Luffy deck that topped. And it's kind of weird. People just look at that as a base thing without watching anything. But you can see that how that deck, like literally, you're just playing Mass Deuce, Robins, Vistas.
Just demolishes like low cost decks, like weenie decks.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. Powerful. I'm like so happy to see that too. So
I know, right? Like kill all the law players, please. I cannot be playing law. Law is my worst matchup actually, with Dofi. And I'm glad for all the Luffy decks because it's pushing it down. Because I know ever since Cross AI won that regionals, everybody been playing that list specifically for law decks, and actually it's a tough deck to go against with blue because it's very like control centric.
Yeah, you know? And well, it's even rush centric sometimes too. Just with, like it has that game plan of just boom boom, and you can't exactly outvalue it, you know. He has, if you ever see his games, he has like always 7+ cards in hand unless he's facing like a Whitebeard, right? He has like an insane amount of cards in hand. So
Yeah, there's an interesting interaction with Law and just like how they play their game. It's like they don't really care how much life they take until they're at like 1
1.
or 0, you know?
Yeah.
And so that gives them like a huge
Yeah.
hand.
Against blue,
And
they
it's
can be at 0.
right, because when they stabilize, it forces their opponent to interact with their board. Like your opponent can't just keep going face when they have like freaking 2 6K blockers and like
A
a
chopper.
restandard law on their
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like choppers and veggies
and a Dawn open, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what I'm seeing actually with law players out here? Some of them are starting to play like a 1 or 2 of 8-drop kid.
Yeah.
Which is like really annoying because
Yeah.
I hate that card with a passion.
Beats by Ash is trying to he might be doing something
popularize
with that.
it.
Well, not popularize it. It's just good, so he's gonna be playing it, right? So yeah, and I was actually worried. I'll swing back into like Doflamingo talk a little bit with running 1 cost and more 9 costs. I was running more 9 costs because I thought I'd see a lot more blue, but like in my locals, people were playing blue, and I'm like, this makes sense to play more 9 cost, right? And so, but guess what? Like a lot of law players, actually, you don't want to do that because you're gonna get punished, right? People punish you if you play a 9 cost. So
yeah, you really have to like preserve life if you're gonna play that card like comfortably.
You can be at 4 or 5 life, and they can, just slam you super hard right after you play it. Right after you play it, even if their board's gone, they'll, not I guess they're gone, but they have like a somewhat of a board. They'll find a way to deal 2 or 3 damage to you, so you can't play a second one, right? So
yeah, it's tricky with law because you never really know when they're gonna explode. They'll have like 8 cards in hand. Once you get to that point where you have like 10 Dawn, you could fill your field in like for like like 4 Dawn with law, and then you still have 6 Dawn to play with to like load them up and do like a double swing. Like it's pretty scary actually, and I think that's why they have such a good Whitebeard matchup. Is that they could swing for like high amounts of damage, like pretty easily.
So here's my deck list I'm running for Saturday. Last weekend, basically the only thing I changed, right? I have 2 of these Doflamingos now, right? The 1 cost, but I used to have 3. I put that into a Gecko Moria, the vanilla, and then 1 9 cost into Gecko Moria as well, right? But I'm just running a solid list. I think I'm still in love with 4 Love Mellow. I went to locals and I 4-0'd at locals, right? But
congrats.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks.
I think this is a great list, man. I can't really knock it at all. Like these are cards that are always on my radar personally.
Similar, yeah. Actually, a little thing too is Jinbei, right? I guess Jinbei's the expensive card really out of all of this, right? But there's a lot of lists showing up without playing Jinbei, right? And there was one, he was playing like I think 2 Deathwinks along with Love Mellow, and I think he commented that it was actually not a bad pick, but they're just running maximum of all the other cards on here besides this.
There was a regional, wasn't there, where that deck got first? He was like running Deathwinks with Love Mellow.
I don't know if he got like first.
Huh?
Did he get first or?
I believe so. I think I saw it on YouTube or something. He was running more top ends actually. He was running like 4 Mihawk, 2 Doflamingo or something like that. And then he's running more events. And he was also running the 1 cost Dofi. I'm like, that deck looks so bricky.
Yeah.
I don't understand. But he wasn't running the 1-drop law either.
Oh, I mean, some people don't run that because of just stuff like Vista or Kiku. They could deal with
all
it.
the removal that's going on.
I think there's times in late game it gets really good, but early game it's just kind of like if they can deal with it right away. But like I think most decks have to build around removal, like easy removal. Right.
I am not denying that the 1-drop law is like very easily removed. It's the fact that you're forcing your opponent to remove it. They're using their removal option on your 1 cost. You know what I mean? So for me, at worst, it's still a good trade-off because it forces you to play like a Vista as opposed to like going like, like Makino into like Magara into like a Sunny Kun or something. Like,
yeah,
this is a way less aggressive play. But I really like your choices, man. Have you tried maybe running 4 Morias, the 4 for 6K?
Yeah, essentially, people want to run that because they want to see on their first flip. But I'd rather see. But they've run 3 Pacifistas, and so I rather ran 4 Pacifistas. And I thought, well, maybe I can just run 3 Love Mellow. But Love Mellow has been showing up for me a lot in locals,
Really?
And so yeah, I'm kind of in love with Love Mellow right now. It's pretty good, essentially, because it seems like sometimes it breaks, but I play around having Love Mellow a lot, and so maybe the way I always have those 2 Dawn open, right, essentially, and so I guess I maybe get 1 less card out than you, but then I have 1 more card to counter with in hand or something. Maybe that's the difference.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure it balances it out. I mean, I'm not knocking Love Mellow in any way. I run 2 right now personally. It's just for me, in the way I play my personal game is like I like to use my Dawn to be more aggressive. And like I usually don't have any Dawn up to use Love Mellow until like after I play my 9-drop Mihawk.
And a lot of the time, that's when I use it, right? I mean, I do use it like on 7 or 5 Dawn turns very rarely, right? But when you're on 10 Dawn, even on 10 Dawn turns, it's so good to play 3-cost blocker Doflamingo skill and play a 4-cost. That value is so good, right? However, there's times where I'm just like, well, I'm not going to call a card off the top of the deck, or there's not a good card to call, or I don't have a searcher. So let's just play a blocker, maybe just play and then swing with a few Dawn and have 2 Dawn open, right? Or most of the time I use Love Mellows to defend my characters, right? Or if even have the 2 Dawn open, they can't swing at a character, especially if they're playing really big cards, because every deck has a big card like Newgate, right? They're gonna save that Newgate to maybe even kill your Doflamingo, right? No, not your Doflamingo, your Mihawk. They'll try to kill your Mihawk. But if you have a Love Mellow in hand, they're like, oh, this is like, I can't just swing at it. I have to throw 4 Dawn, maybe 6 Dawn on it.
Super awkward.
What
I do is I just leave 2 Dawn up.
You have the mind game. You just leave 2 Dawn up.
You make it.
But sometimes leaving that Dawn up too, like in a death situation where you need it out of your life. That's why I run 4 as well, because I might hit it out of life and be like, well, I had 2 Dawn open because I'm a G and I happen to have a Love Mellow here. So that's also a luck factor too. That's kind of dumb, but
you know what? I've been actually trying to mess around with my events as of late too. I was thinking about taking out Love Mellow and running Deathwings. And then trying to make room for 2 or 3 but Gum Rains. And then the Gum Rains will let you counter for 3K and also whittle your hand down. And it has better synergy with Deathwing than it would for Love.
Oh, yeah. The only thing I don't like about Deathwing actually is that 6K counter is like too much counter. Like especially if they're swinging 5 into your 5, you're like, oh.
You definitely don't want to use Deathwing for that. But
your
unless it's like the last card in your hand.
The opponent's going to see that. You have 1 card in hand, you have 3 Dawn open. They might, I mean, they're going to think you're crazy if you're running Deathwing. They're not actually going to think you actually have it. But let's say opponent actually knows you have a Deathwing in your deck, right? I think it's really good for the trigger effect. Like Deathwing.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what makes it. That's what makes it like, oh no, the 6-hit counter or whatever. The top. Yeah, that's gross, right? So
imagine playing green and they play Kid for 7 and they're swinging for face, and then you just hit the trigger, dude. There goes their whole turn of playing cards, man. Like the trigger is amazing, and I think that's one definite plus side of it, as opposed to running Love Mellow.
Yeah, or even overheat. Right, so
or even overheat. That's true. Like triggers are great because blue is actually very limited on the type of on any good triggers that we have. Really, we don't really rely on triggers as a color.
We don't. No, I used to, in the. Did you run any of the? Did you ever try a variation with the old Jinbei in OPL1?
Actually, I took to Vegas a build that ran 3 Jinbeis. Yeah, and I made it to top 16. And
I think I ran 3 or 4.
Yeah, the gym base was a great answer to like dealing with kid blockers and also against law. Like it trips them up. Like imagine trying to set up for your turn, and good players will always swing before playing cards. So you just like they'll swing into you and they're trying to set up, you know, their shambles ability and they hit a gym day in life. It just completely messes up their whole calculation.
Well,
So,
yeah, and you know, one thing I do, and I would always suggest this to anybody who plays any deck, right? Because every deck has a trigger, right? Every single time you take a damage, look at that card. It doesn't matter if it's a trigger or not. You just tell your opponent, "Oh, let me think about this. Oh, I'm going to decide not to activate this." You know, because you don't know. That actually might throw your opponent off, especially inexperienced
100%.
players. Yeah,
that is a pro tip right there from KEKFILA.
Yeah,
and that's something I personally do too. You don't have to say anything.
Yeah,
you could literally like when you take your life, I'll like just flip it up.
Yeah,
and then I'll like stare at it and like really pretend I'm thinking, and then I'll put it in my hand, and they'll just be like, "Oh, it's a trigger or whatever."
Triggers, right? Triggers. Yeah, triggers. Look at the card. It's actually, you know how many people, I've done this too before. You put the card right to your hand and you go, "Oh, it was a trigger. Can I activate it?" Right? And you've definitely like
really,
said to your opponent, like, "I need you not to do that."
Yeah, I don't allow for that. And that's something that tournament organizers here will actually make a point out of, is like when you look at your life and you add it to your hand, once it reaches your hand, that's it. You've missed your window of opportunity to play a trigger, because there's no way for us to know anymore which one was the trigger in your hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of like become the standard here, and you know, I know it's a tough pill
people have to learn the
sometimes.
hard way usually.
Yeah.
So
because most of the time, you know, it really is just people making a player error and just like adding it on hand and realizing right afterwards. It's like an impulse, right? You take a life, it's like, all right, I'll take a life.
And the thing is, sometimes using that trigger isn't always a good idea, right? There's actually times where I've definitely had someone use a trigger where they should have kept it. Like a Paradise Waterfall. Like, that would have been really good in your hand, dude. You should have kept that instead of triggering it.
Yeah, I've definitely had a player or two like mess up on that. Like, what's that one on trigger, like gives a character or a leader like 1,000? Is it
all the Radical Beam and
Beam,
and the other card, yeah.
Somebody's used Radical Beam on me after I attacked them, like, okay. Just add an additional Dawn swing. Like, that would have been way better in your hand, man. I'm sorry, but
that's a weird trigger too. Like, why does that even exist?
Yeah. No, I think Red Hawk is definitely like the boogeyman of triggers for red. That or like a Jet Pistol.
Yeah, I mean, Jet Pistol, literally people have to play around that card. That actually is like I almost called the Jet Pistol the game at one point, you know? This is all we're doing is playing Jet Pistol the game. Like, the whole game is based around this one card.
Who gets the most triggers out of life?
Oh, dude, imagine if that was a winner card, a Jet Pistol. Dude. Oh,
like,
dude, I didn't think about that.
Art with like texture.
With winner? No, just winner. Just winner. Like,
just a winner Jet Pistol?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be kind of dope.
Yeah, people would definitely, that's definitely cash.
Yeah. Imagine hitting that and on their life and it said winner on it, like, oh, get ragged, dude.
Gotta make loser Jet Pistols, actually, because that's what they do.
Loser Jet Pistols. Yeah, those for the people that like draw 4 in the opening. They're just like, oh, God, I just lost. Oh God. Like, terrible. No, I'm trying to think, like, red definitely has the scariest triggers, in my opinion. I don't know.
I've definitely gotten hit by a Jet Pistol into Red Hawk, and I had the game won. I think I still could have won, but like, they Jet Pistoled into Red Hawk, and so I like that.
Dude, I was just playing a loopy deck, and he Red Hawk and Jet Pistoled me actually in one game, and I'm like, wow.
In the same turn?
No, in one game though.
This was like end of the game. It was a best of 3. This is the first game. I literally have win on board. I actually think I still had win on board if I did my Dawn differently. But I Dawned up because he had a Red Hawk in hand. Right? I Dawned up cards so he couldn't Red Hawk, like, say, a Jinbei. Right? I had the little Jinbei in OPL1. But I attacked him. He Jet Pistoled the Jinbei that only had 3 Dawn on him. And I'm like, okay. And then he got a Red Hawk and he -10 to my Virgo. And I'm like, I'm like, that was gross, dude. That was the grossest thing I ever seen.
I'm sorry that happened to you, man. I feel your pain.
Yeah.
I've definitely lost on more than on one occasion against a trigger. Like there was this one time I had I was going for game. The guy was at 1. I swung with leader, and I had a 3-cost Dofi on my field. I swung with leader, took his 1 life, and I had him dead to rights with my Dofi on the next swing. His trigger on life was his 1 of Diablo Jambe.
Okay.
Killed my blocker Dofi.
Did your blocker Dofi?
Did that really just happen right now? Like even he was shocked. He's like, dude, I only run 1 of this card. I'm like,
you know it's gonna happen too when you run that card. Like, oh, just in case. So yeah. Segueing that into the new OP blue card. Did we already talk about that? We talked about it. We didn't talk actually of it though, right? And so
we kind of hinted at it in the beginning.
I think it's called Gum Red
Rock.
Red Rock. Yeah, Red Rock, right?
Red Rock.
This is the trigger skill is weird. I don't know why the trigger skill is worse than the actual skill, which is the opposite usually.
I feel like I understand why they did that though. Because imagine if you get it off life, they don't want to make it so that you can use it at all points of the game. They want you at least to
can we nerf Pump Gibson? Can we just nerf Pump Gibson while we're at it?
Pump Gibson.
Just change that card to only rest 5 or lesses or something.
5 or less.
7 or lesses. Like, because resting any card, like I've actually placed down a 9-cost Mihawk to get rid of like a 5-cost Law, right? Because that's a 6k power. I don't want him to block my 5k swing, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So then I swing at them and then it hits and it rests my Mihawk, and I'm like, I can't defend it.
Mihawk.
Yeah, they just kill my Mihawk because like I have nothing to. I didn't have like counter in hand or like any real counter. I don't have an event in hand. We're not enough Dawn to use an event. Man. So
you just tapped out to like bottom deck of 6 basically.
Yeah, that's where Gum Rain's actually good. Actually, real quick, that's when you're playing your Mihawk turn. That's actually pretty good on the turn
3
after.
Counter for 3k is actually pretty good, believe it or not.
Yeah, and 3k is actually really good counter.
Yeah. You know, it's like you're discarding 2 cards anyway with a 2 and a 1 if they're swinging 2k over. Gum Rain basically just makes your dud in your hand another 1k.
And it has a trigger as well. It's like draw 2, draw.
I believe it's a bounce at 2.
Oh, I don't remember.
You can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe
it's
bounce at 2 costs or less. Yeah, I'm gonna try it out. I think. I don't know. We'll see.
I think it works well with Love Mellow more than Deathwink, but I guess you're thinking, just because you're getting down. Yeah. Right.
Either or, but I wouldn't go like Mellow and Deathwing together.
No, because Deathwink has trigger. Yeah, you'll play Deathwink too because it has a trigger. So so the Gum Red Rock, and it bottom decks a 4 on trigger, but with 6 cost on your turn, you activate it. It bottom decks any card. And
insane.
I'm sure it's any character card, not any. It can't get bottom deck an event. But why would you do that anyway?
Imagine if it's card. I can bottom deck your island.
Leader.
Pay 6 bottom deck island. Like,
bottom deck leader.
What just happened here? That would be insane, dude. No, but this card is literally like meta defining. Like blue has always been notorious to be terrible against green because of the 8-drop kid. And now with this card, like there's nothing against green that we're scared of. Not the Odin, not the kid. Like blue's matchup's gonna be much better once that card comes out, 100%. And if it's not like what the best color, it's gonna be one of the best color. I don't know what you think.
I think it's all. Yeah, I think it's very good. That card's really super good. I'm trying to think about if it's gonna be the best color, right? But it's definitely gonna propel it because that's what it was missing before in OPO1. Every deck had like a good removal, very good removal. Mihawk had good removal, but it's cost 9, right? But like I always thought, Jet Pistol's unfair, 9 cost Kaido, green, they can do things, they have this, but blue just had build field, but you can deal with building field, right? You can deal with that, right? And so blue felt like the most vanilla deck, but now instead of building field with this during this turn, you can still build field with the other Dawn you have, but bottom decking any card gives you a lot of options. And I mean,
I think it's about time blue got an unfair card for once, because I think with blue in general as a color, it's such a fair color. And by fair, I'm saying like if you look at blue cards as a whole, right? Their cost to power ratios are like super fair. It's not pushed like, for example, red is. We pay four costs for our 5Ks. Red pays 3 for their 5Ks. You know what I mean? So I think it's about time we got something that actually like makes our, you know, a card that's actually like pushed a little bit.
Yeah. Yes,
You
and
know?
plus it has trigger, which is great, right?
Absolutely.
That's actually will be a
really-
decision. That's gonna be a decision sometimes where like I'm not gonna activate this because you maybe want to keep it if you're facing against a hard opponent. But
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think you really have to be selective when you're gonna use that card, because that could be your only out to like an 8-drop. You know what I mean?
Well, people might not play 8-drop because of that. And during this meta, OPO4, that's going to be, by the way, it's kind of a big deal because Nationals is at OPO4 meta, right? So we have to think about a little bit what's going on then, because people are playing a 10-cost Doflamingo, like the green Doflamingo, right?
Ooh, that card's scary.
That card is scary, right? But if you can remove it the turn after, just at least gets rid of the body, right?
You know what I'm afraid of with green in that format? It's just people playing Dofi like repetitively every turn. You swing, like, imagine swinging for them for your turn, and then they go to their 10 Don turn, they go Dofi, and then you're all rested. You play your one character, you say go, then they go Dofi, and then you only have one character to attack with. Like 2 turns where you're not swinging. It's brutal.
Yeah,
man.
and I think even with that, you kind of have to play around their 10 Don curve, right? You have to play around, and it actually might be kind of easy to do. That actually is almost you can almost build a big board. Oh, you can only rest 3. Everything you choose the 3, attack the other 2, whatever. I'm gonna guard out, and I'm gonna keep them standing for you know.
I mean, that is one way to counterplay, but if you think about it, that's already hampering you as the player who has to, you know, you're unable to commit your full board every turn because they have the Dofi.
I think it also, the thing is, it shuts down leader cards, right? It shuts down the leader, which is always a free attack, right?
Yeah.
So I can't use Doflamingo swing. You know, I guess Kid has an out to it. He can like discard. He can still discard, you know, and use 3 Dawn to restand his character, right? His leader.
That's true.
So
that's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That's how you get out of it.
I'm trying to think what other leaders can kind of like get around that, but I would think like, you know, the new ones, the new leaders that don't need to attack. That, you know what I mean? They don't really need to attack every turn. The leaders that can attack every turn, and then in open before.
And then Lucci as well. The Lucci can restand himself, I believe. Rob Lucci.
Oh yeah. Are you gonna build Rob Lucci in the next set?
No. I think it's good. I think it's super good, but I might build.
Good in Japan right now?
I heard it's pretty dang good. I'm listen. My favorite color is actually yellow, right? In real life, so I'm definitely building a yellow deck just because my favorite color is yellow. So
yellow isn't it like one of the best decks right now in OP?
I think Katakura is pretty good. Katakuri.
Yeah,
I think it's above average. And then
I'm excited for yellow too, dude.
Yeah,
I think it's just like a different type of deck manipulation.
I think also there's actually a slight meta toward buddy battle, right? The yellow is very good at buddy battle because it manipulates their life, right?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But do you guys have a scene over there for buddy battle?
They're trying to get locals to do that. I think they said some locals are like, oh, this one we're doing only buddy battle, right? I didn't show up because I was busy on Saturday, but there's people trying to do a little bit of buddy battle. The only reason it's turned me off is it's too long of a format. Like when they said 90-minute rounds, I'm like, yeah,
that's a long game. I think, they also have some like weird rules that they gotta like iron out. I feel like somebody told me the other day, and I don't even know if this is true. It's like, when it says your turn, like your turn effects, you have to select when you play that card whose turn that card is referring to. Like, for example, Kuzan, your turn, your opponent's cards get -5 cost. When you play a 10-drop Kuzan, you have to choose if that effect pertains to your turn or your opponent or your ally's turn.
Oh. No, that wouldn't. I think you have to be very literal with the cards, right? Because your turn is your turn, right? And another thing, this comes up a lot with Magellan, right? Imagine I'm playing Magellan and my other buddy's playing Kaido, right? And I actually, if they 10-drop Kaido, I can minus my opponent's Dawn, right? because it's not my turn, right? It's my friend's turn.
That's a fair point. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy might have been completely wrong, but I thought it was kind of weird. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's kind of
And plus you have to actually, like Magellan says, choose one of your opponents and then they minus one Dawn, not both of them. I'm like, oh. So
I mean, yeah, that for sure can be both.
I think it's a weird long game format, like a long turn format, right? You get into a lot of turns and going through your deck. And
I'm sure there's a lot of there's gonna be a lot of shenanigans happening with Buddy Battle. I can only imagine what people cook up with like teams, you know?
Yeah. I wish there was a different format than Buddy Battle that's still a one-on-one. Like you can
there's a sealed format.
Do any the thing is you're only stuck with those cards. I'm talking and play any color. Yeah. Any color, right? I think people would like premium.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I think that'll be a lot of fun if they like did some other kind of format for sure. But I don't know what could they do. What else could they do?
All colors. You can do anything you want.
Just like throw it all in a deck.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
You know what would be fun? Like a draft format. Where you like open packs and then you pass it to the next.
But they have that for pre-release. Like it's very vanilla, right?
For pre-release?
Yeah.
No, but pre-release is sealed. You're building your deck from your cards. You're not like drafting. Draft is like you get 6 packs. You open a pack, you pass it to the next guy, and then you get listen to your rights cards. Right?
Yeah, that can work. I'm just not sure how fun that is. It's basically pre-release, but with extra steps, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's the Magic player in me because Magic does a lot of drafting, and for me, it's a lot of fun. I think being able to because what happens is that when you draft, because you're seeing a lot more cards, you're able to build a stronger deck actually than you would if you were playing sealed, because then you only get what you get, you know?
Yeah. So I guess so. I guess if there's more strong cards, right?
Yeah.
I feel like most of the fun from pre-release or draft is actually opening packs, right? So.
Oh, that's true. I mean,
you could. I think draft should be part of pre-release. It should be a draft, but they simple it down because of time, right?
Instead of like sealed, just do draft for pre-release.
Yeah,
I think that'd be fun.
I think it's good to try instead.
Right? Yeah.
So.
I mean, look, when I can only say for myself, but when I was playing sealed, they would give us what? How much? Do you remember how much time
6
they
packs,
gave us?
30 minutes to do your deck.
30 minutes is like more than enough time to like build a deck. Like I build my deck in like 10 to 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Like an extra if they gave you like 20 minutes, let's say, to build your deck and 10 minutes of drafting, I think that could work.
Yeah, I mean they have to take. I think so. I think people don't know what the cards do. Especially some people they're playing, they're not even good one-piece players to begin with, and then they're learning what OPO2 cards do, right? And then the next set's gonna be the same thing. They're gonna be reading every OPO3 card, and you're like, dude, it has a 2K counter. Put it in your deck.
If it has 2,000, take the damn card.
Take the card. And that's a format that should be changed too. But actually, I wanted to bring up this as well. We'll go into pre-release. We'll go into regional signups, right? Pre-release signups actually are an issue too. They were an issue at my locals. I don't know if they were an issue at your locals for signing up.
100%, man. They sold out like the day of opening.
Yeah, and so essentially, like ours, you do on the Bondi app, they told you who was in it, but then basically a local or two said it's going to be on signups. You need to either call the store, and they messaged it in the Discord. You need to call the store or come into the store and sign up. Because it's too hard. It was too hard for the store to go for the Bondi app and then organize everything and tell you who's gonna be in and who's not gonna be in. It was too hard. I've been telling stores one of them should do a raffle system instead, right?
Yeah.
Give them a week to sign up and then go in there. But
that's what one of my stores did actually. They did a raffle system and it worked out really well. Like there wasn't a lot any salty players or anything like that because it's all random, you know what I mean? So I think it made it fair for everyone. But for me, I don't know what your experience was like at your pre-releases. I got so lucky, dude. 2 weeks before the pre-releases, I couldn't get into any pre-releases. But I just went to my local shop at Psycho Turtle, and the day I was there was the day that they opened up pre-release for their particular store. And they told the players there, well, because we were there, like they gave us the first opportunity to sign up for all of them. And they had like 5 of them. So I'm like, I'll just do all 5.
Yeah. Well, they had 5 pre-releases. One store had 5 pre-releases.
Yeah, they did. It was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the week after was like Tuesday, Wednesday, or something.
That's insane. Like every store would have like 1 pre-release, you know, and stuff like that. So
this store has 2 storefronts on the same plaza. Like they have like Psycho Turtle Collectibles and then Psycho Turtle Play, and they're considered like 2 stores.
Oh, okay.
So they got like, I think they got like double the amount.
Question for the Smoker winner, was it only one person that got it, or was it like top 2, top 4?
For me, it was the first place winner, but actually at one locals I went to, they gave it to first and second, because they so what happened was, in my tournament where I went to this one shop, they had an odd number of people. So instead of like they were trying to end it in like 3 rounds. So instead of playing out another round, they just gave the person that got the bye, for like the other undefeated that got the bye, the winner pack. And then they gave the winner pack to, or the winner Smoker to first, or whoever lost. You know what I mean?
We had at our store, there was one, I think they're supposed to give out to top 2, but they gave it to top 1, and they used another one for another tournament, right? For another tournament they had. Another one, a guy who was helping, I believe the shop gave it to him as like, thank you for helping, right? Because he runs all this stuff, which was kind of weird, right? But it wasn't really communicated well. I'm fine with it now, but at the time it was like, I thought top 2 would get it. So I played with another, I played against that guy, Paul, and we split the Smoker. We just sold it to the guy next to me who wanted to buy it. So that was fine. And then other ones, they were like top 2 got it. So, but there was like 4 or 5 shops that did that, and I got in 2 of them, which I was more than happy doing that. Nice. But people were still I know people that were still upset, like, oh my god, I couldn't get into that tournament. They had in-store signups, and they were, you know, I'm like, well, I don't know what you expect them to do, man. Like, I guess you could hate on them for that, but it's hard.
You know, One Piece is like super high on demand at the time, and it's like everybody's trying to get in, but they're, you know, limited in product and limited in space.
It's the hardest part of the game is signing up, right? And like even for pre-release, and
I'm terrible at it.
And a regional for regionals and treasure cups, it's even worse, right? So and going into that, and I don't listen. I'm not an official of Bondi. I don't even know officials of Bondi. I know like judges like Orange Samurai and things like that. But I talked to people, and essentially they told me, I've been listening to some podcasts too, right? And they're like, oh, let's come up with ideas of how they can do signups instead, right? When a lot to me is they're not going to change what they're doing, right? They're stores that run a store, right? And organizations, and Bondi only makes so many promos. You can only have so many entrants, right? Regardless of however fair you want to make it, it's going to, for now, be a first come, first serve, and first sign up. I've heard in Europe they've actually done raffles, actually, and they do like really complicated things, right? But in US for now, it's probably just going to only be first come, first sign up. So people need to get their stuff together and learn how to refresh fast and have good internet.
Dude,
like that's just the game. That's the game. It
look,
sucks.
man, I am some people. Okay, let me tell you, because I've been really unlucky with those. Like, I'm the guy that I actually like. I'm ready, right? I go in like an hour before. I'm like getting my coffee. I'm like getting everything set up. I have like a computer and my phone all ready to go to like register. And it's always the system. Like there's the platform that they're using crashes, or the platform that they're using isn't refreshing with the button. Like, it's a lot for me. The issue comes from the actual platform that they use for like, you know, registering. And that's what, you know, gets me in trouble with that. Like, because I'm ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're talking about online regionals, and the websites would be too slow because there'd be too many people trying to register at the same time, and that happened. I mean, that happens to everybody, even me with good internet, right? But it's probably even worse for people who have mid internet, right? So
yeah, we only get one click, you guys. You know, we got to make this one click count.
Yeah.
And for me, it never counts.
if you had one opportunity, one click, would you let it slip away?
What would you do, right?
Mom spaghetti,
But,
yeah.
exactly, mom spaghetti. You only got one shot.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, they need to come up with a better system, or at least come up with a better platform, like a more stable platform to like do it in. You know, that's my biggest issue with it. The only other thing that we can maybe do to like help alleviate it for the players is simply increase the cap. Like, I get that there's gonna be some cost associated to that for Bandai to like support their game more and increase like promotional count, but it's gonna help us. You know, it's gonna help the store runners or the event runners as well. So,
and I mean, there are technical difficulties I've heard when it comes to webcam for having more than 512 players. But you can, like, I always say, run 2 tournaments on 2 different Discords. You know, like,
there you go.
That, yeah. I mean, people still have issues with things, and I wanted to share something too. As well. Have you done any online webcam gaming, like even a casual game?
I've done actually I played a regionals for Yu-Gi-Oh online, and it wasn't too. I don't remember having a bad experience. It was fine for me. How was yours? Have you've done any of the online One Piece tournaments?
I've done mostly online. I've done like one live big one, right? Which was Vegas, and that was like the smallest of the big ones.
Yeah.
But
how insane was that, by the way? Do you remember like that tournament? We would be playing, because I was there too. We would be playing in the tournament, and there's literally like a DJ booth right next to where we were playing cards. They're blasting music.
Dude,
like,
you gotta be built
game.
different. Yeah, you gotta be built. People were so tilted from that. Like, dude, I was like, we need to get at locals someone blasting music to get us to get used to regionals.
Yeah, my opponent got a game loss because we were playing across that booth. Well, they didn't get a game loss, but they like misplayed because they couldn't think. They literally told me, like, I literally can't play right now. Like, I can't play this game. So he just ended up like, he like made a really bad misplay. And
like, they could have just switched us on like the other side of the room too, but it was literally right next to us. You know, if it was like 50 feet more away, we probably would have been fine. But because it was literally touching us, it was bad.
It was insane. There's like people at the very edge of the seating area who are playing in the tournament, and like the curtain, not even a wall, like a curtain next to them is like DJ booth blasting music.
Yeah,
you know?
With a bunch of, influencers, sexy influencers.
Yeah, like all the distractions. Like, this is your challenge playing at Vegas.
Yeah, some girl's just shaking her ass over there. I'm like, what the heck? I came here for a real good show. Damn.
You're like trying to play the game. You just keep looking over like, dude.
I wish I was kidding. Like, yeah, like.
Yeah, that would be my one quip with the Vegas Treasure Cup. But aside from that,
it was good. Other than that,
they did what they could, just based off of like the amount of resources they had. I think it was like 2 or 3 people running the show.
For webcam though, it's a really weird thing because I don't even know if it's because of Discord or if it's because of the person. I faced one person this last weekend, and I could not understand what was going on with his well, I knew what was going on, but it was so blurry to the fact that my viewers couldn't see what his cards were, right? And I had to there was a time where it didn't matter. They had 1 Dawn up. I didn't know he had a Dawn up. Like, it's everything all together. You start seeing, like, you can't even see like he has a Dawn up, right? I should have won that game. I failed on something that wasn't related to that, right?
What happened?
Oh, okay. So this was round 5, okay. And I'm playing against the law player, or maybe it's round 6. He's 5-1, and I'm 4-2. Okay, so I had the play down, which is weird in a big tournament.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would be if I won, and I should won. I messed up the last. This is what happened the last turn. Essentially, I was doing a bunch of small swings at him, right? Mm-hmm. And he had to take a 5K swing because his other card in his hand was a radical beam. Because I have 2 7K swings that are going to be coming, right? I donned up a couple other cards because of Jet Pistol, right?
Yeah.
And I had 1 Dawn active, so he took that last damage, and I just need to put that 1 Dawn on my leader and swing for 6. But he was kind of like, oh, like there was a bad, like it was like a no Dawn card. My brain didn't even cooperate with what was going on. Essentially, I just swung 5K instead of putting 1 Dawn and swinging for 6, and then because he had a 1K Vista, and he's like, oh, I got out the 5K. Okay, then I'll guard out this card and I'll block 1. And so I literally. He didn't use the 1 Dawn that was associated there. I could have won that. I think he ended up going 8-1. So,
oh wow,
yeah, good for him. But like, I was tilted from that and like other games before where I could have won. I learned some things in that game too. I went 4 and 5. I can go over my games actually real quick because I did do that tournament.
For me.
So
I know we kind of talked about it on the last recording.
Well, we couldn't because it was Friday, right? And the tournament was Saturday. So now. True. Yeah, now it's the next Friday. I have one tomorrow, by the way. So follow my stream. Yeah, every Saturday I'll be streaming. So
right on, my man.
Yeah. So with that, the first game I faced a Zoro and it was really close and I barely won. Second game I faced a Law. It was very close and I barely lost. But I've learned something that when Law has a low hand. I needed, or even any deck, I should be swinging for 5s most of the time. I was donning stuff up because I was worried about Jet Pistol. But the Laws are playing less Jet Pistol. I should not, especially if I've seen them play 1, I should not be worried about that. I need to just sometimes think, oh, if he doesn't have Jet Pistol, then it's like I high roll this, right? I definitely win. But I did that too much when I should have just put Dawn on, like 3 Dawn on a Perona and swung for 5, because it would have been better essentially. And I realized after it was one of those after the fact I learned things rather than me messing up, and I'm like, oh, I could have won that if I did that. Oh, okay, well, that's fine. I don't remember a lot of my other matches until I lost to that Law. But I'll say this: there was a lot of Law there, right? I didn't expect that much Law, to be honest, like that much Law. And I was very frustrated. I was facing every single Law player. But then I think I maybe played poorly after that fact. I think I faced an easier Zoro, I feel like almost every game was Law. I think I beat Law once where I had Dead to Rights, but then I lost to Law twice where I should have won. And then I lost to a Whitebeard, and he baited me. It was pretty good bait. I had a bunch of blockers up and a Love Mellow, and I used my Love Mellow, and then he just used bunch down on his Luffy that had no block, like the unblockable Luffy, and killed my Mihawk. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I didn't he baited me for that. I'm like, that's really smart. He just loaded up a bunch of Dawn on his Luffy that was already on the board, right? So
you got rid of your biggest body.
Yeah, he got rid of my biggest body. So that one really hurt. But I think it was more me playing bad and I got humbled, so. So
that's good, man. We learn the most when we lose, I don't think, we never, rarely do we ever learn anything when we win the game. We learn the most.
I don't really think I bricked most of my games too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
were you running the 2 Dofis at the time?
I was running 3, and my hand was getting bricked with too many cards that had no counter. That's for sure, right? And especially against these Laws, the 9 cost me. I wasn't able to place 2 down. I placed 1 down, and I get punished for playing 1. I'm like, oh,
it's tough, man.
It's tough
for these rush decks like Zoro and then Law. Yeah, you really don't want to draw any of your top ends against that most of the time. Like no more than 1, right?
Yeah.
But I know we were kind of like talking about it, like as far as the Law matchup goes. Like, have you gotten any chance to like going second against them maybe and
Yeah,
seeing what that experience is like?
at locals, I've been going second.
Mhm.
I think at online regionals too, I lost die roll and he chose to go first. Right. I think I was. This was the game I should have won. Right. So I was like, okay, this works out. But yeah, at locals, I've tried going second, and usually it's less of a you're hindered because you're not really hindered going second. Instead, they're hindered, right? Because them playing the Dawn turn 1 is so strong, and on turn 3 with 6 Dawn is nuts. But like literally, my opponent, he saw his hand. He's like, "Oh, I'm going first, right?" He's gonna mulligan because he has like 2 to Dawns in his hand.
What a cheater!
Like, what do you mean? Oh, he already.
You're supposed to choose if
I chose before. He just reiterated me. He's like, "Oh,
okay."
He's just like, I'm going first, right?" Again, I'm like, "Yeah, I chose that before," and he's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna mulligan this hand, right?"
Oh God, yeah,
yeah.
That's good.
Another thing is too, maybe you don't know this, right? When it comes to mulliganing, they don't say this in the official rules, but whoever goes first decides they mulligan first or not. So if you're going second,
oh, is that right?
Yeah, because if you're going second, you can wait until your opponent decides first, because that actually matters, right? Because let's say your opponent says, "I'm not going to mulligan," and your hand's mid, you might say, "Okay, I might need a stronger hand," or actually, this hand's okay, right? This hand will work for me most of the time. But let's say your hand is mid and your opponent mulligans. That means their hand was probably really bad. So you can actually just keep that, right? Because then, like,
not feel as bad.
Yeah, because like you can keep that. But if your opponent keeps and your hand is mid, you actually might want to mulligan, right? But
it gets tough, especially when you have like a below average hand. You know, like let's say you have a 4, a hand that's a 4 out of 10. You know, like do you mull that and risk getting a 2 or a 1 or a 0?
I think it depends a lot. Especially depends on like if you're X and O, you might be willing to try that. I've mulligan when I'm like X and O, and like I'm like, oh yeah, this is even better. Holy shit. You know, like, this is so good. You know, it didn't
sometimes
matter.
It works out, sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
But obviously as Dofi players, we're kind of relegated to just searching for the top deckers.
Yeah.
When we mull,
well,
so.
sometimes in blue versus blue, I hard mulligan for Mihawks. Yeah. But I don't have I don't have a ton of experience into blue because no one plays blue around my locals, right?
Oh,
but
really?
But that's what I've been told, and I've done that, and it works out most of the time. But if I have a Perona and like a lot of good cards, you might just do that. But if my hand has
an advocate for it, I still go for like the deck checkers, and I'm usually when I do that, I'm able to like pressure them. Harder.
Then it matters on what deck checkers we're talking about. If you have a Perona that and whatever else card, that's perfect. Keep that, right? But if you have a 1-cost Doflamingo or a 3-cost Doflamingo and not the Perona, you might mulligan depending on what the rest of your hand is, right? If you have a 3-cost Doflamingo and a bunch of like a 2K Mihawk and a Gecko Moria, like you might just be fine with that. You might be actually in a Pacifista. If you draw a Pacifista in your opening hand, oh my god. You know, that is so good. It's like one of the.
You know what's so funny? I'll even keep like a 3-cost Dofi hand if it's like, even if it's not like the best hand. Even as long as
because it can get worse. It can get worse.
Yeah, it definitely can get worse.
I think by me playing the 1-cost Dofi, I'm more willing to mulligan though. If it's not.
Oh yeah, you have a better chance of getting it at that point. So here's a question. Do you go first or do you go second in the mirror?
You go first.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think I go first.
Like it has to do with curve and Mihawk, right?
Mihawk curve.
You're playing Mihawk a turn before your opponent. That's
It makes all the difference.
It makes all the difference. One thing a lot of Doflamingo players don't know, and I'm a big key advocate of this, right? Is actually if you're going second, what's the play to do on turn 1, turn 2, right? Because a lot of people will just play Perona on turn 1 if they have it. I disagree. I think you should wait till turn 2 because you drew an extra card to dig deeper in your deck, right? And then you have 4 Dons. You can play Perona and use Doflamingo skill still. I think that's very valuable. The only time where you don't do that is if you think they're going to have a tapped card and you need a card on the field to attack that right away.
You're playing like a Zoro or something, going second.
Or Kinemon and they have Momo. Yeah.
Also another, or like if you have a Law in hand, for example, and Perona, you go Law turn 1, turn 2 Perona.
Yeah.
I think that's a great
100%.
point. It's a great point because it's a difference between only being able to use leader ability twice, right? You only get to use leader ability twice if you play Perona on turn 1. You get it 3 times if you play Perona on turn 2, which is like
you can use it on your 4 Dawn, 6 Dawn, and 8 Dawn turn. And most likely on your 8 Dawn turn, you're going to be playing a Mihawk of the Night on your next turn, so you don't even need to know the next card, but you can play a 3-cost Doflamingo, right? Yeah.
3-cost Dofi is actually really good going second on your 6 Dawn turn.
Yeah, so that in case. Yeah. In case you really brick out. Actually, when I go second, I don't see a Perona. I play a 4-cost like a Jinbei on my turn 2, and then on the next turn I'll play Dofi into skill.
Dofi into leader ability.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit more. I'm pretty ballsy with my leader ability. Like I'll go blind. Like
really
when if I really have like a bad hand, like I go blind. Yeah. And my ratios are like pretty good on the blinds, so I like 66%. I don't know what yours is like. But
I don't know what mine. I don't know what my percentage is. It doesn't matter to me. I only shoot blind if it's the only thing I can do. Right? Like if there's nothing else to do. Oh my god! I high rolled this guy at locals one time. We were in top 8. Right? I went undefeated in Swiss. Right? I'm facing a Kinemon player, and this guy he's not too used to Kinemon just yet, right? But he got top 8 with it at our locals, like at least 18, 20 players, right? It was a bigger tournament for a top cut, right? So
the top cut, wow.
It was a special Saturday tournament, right? And I faced him, and I had to blind on the first game. I had a blind swing on the first 2 turns, and he plays Sukiku, and I blind flip a Jinbei. And then twice.
Oh god! Wow.
2 turns. I was like, there's nothing else to do, so let me just do that. It was and he had it. He killed it, so as a Kiki went away. But I was just like, God, this is hilarious. This is like
so free, dude.
It was super free.
I fucking loved Jinbei is so strong. I know there's a lot of people like arguing its value in the deck and like replacing it with like Teaches or like other warlords, but I think Jinbei needs a spot in the deck because it helps you deal with those pesky like cards.
Yeah. It also it creates an issue for your opponent, and they're gonna make a mistake, right? They usually are gonna make the mistake they don't know what to do. So
exactly. And also Jinbei is just it's literally a card that just gives you value. Like whether they kill it or they let it live, it's gonna give you some form of value. And guess what? You only paid 1 Dawn for it. You know what I mean?
But you only pay one, I guess if you put 2 Dawn on your leader. If you only play 1 Dawn for a card that's that good.
Swing, and then you're paying 1 to get the body.
Well, kind of like it's kind of crazy too. I'm surprised it's a promo because you see the new Usopp card that's coming out in set 4. It's a red Usopp. He's what was that?
The 4/5K with KO.
Yeah, he's basically the same thing because KO is a 5K power or less on his death. And I'm like, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, you can't call him out for free with your leader skill, but
I know exactly. It's like it becomes a mid card, but also it says on the card original power of 5K, so you can't even like get it in range and then like kill something, you know.
Well, original power, if someone dawns up their character, that doesn't change their original power.
No, I see. So I guess it's a benefit in that way, but I was thinking more like on your turn, let's say you played like a Natama or something, and then you find a way to like kill your own Usopp. Like you attack with like a Teach or something. Kill the Usopp or something else.
I'm thinking not Suicide Usopp. This is like this character is just gonna be there.
Suicide Usopp.
It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be a Jinbei. Like it forces your opponent to deal with it, which they usually. Well, and a 5K power or less is really strong. Like level 3 or less, whatever. But it KOs it actually. Dude, you're gonna see like Usopp into Usopp torture. They're gonna like, okay, I'm gonna KO your Usopp. And they're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna KO your Usopp.
I need to tell you, you my Vista.
Yeah, and I guess. Yeah, something like that. It sounds so funny. But you know, we'll bottom deck it so it doesn't KO it.
I don't think it's personally. I don't think it's good. I mean, it's a 4/5K, and red is like notorious for having these like unfairly costed stat to power ratios. You know what I mean? But it's a mid card in my opinion. I'm not.
That's fine.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see
but
how it goes.
with Jinbei, okay, well, I know people are not playing Jinbei because they don't have it. And there are options, and decks have been topping with it. But I think they have to follow your kind of route, play more 2K counters, and I feel like they play a lot.
I think like two or three of those slots can go to Teach. I think Teach, he has his use.
Yeah,
like the surprise factor definitely comes into play with Teach. Like being able to set it up and then swing in and bounce a card on attack is like it's still relevant in my opinion, but it's not a permanent solution.
Yeah, because he doesn't really do anything once he's on the board. He just dies, right?
Yeah, he's just a like a pseudo blocker.
Yeah, because the Dan can kill him with one Dawn on Zoro, right? It's just sad, right? And so. Or if a leader puts a Dawn on, well, usually they put a Dawn on their leader and they just swing 6K at it, and you go, oh, well,
they go 6.
I guess it's just gonna die, right? So
like you did your job, right? But I think there's some value to that. Like that's offers some form of protection to your life, and sometimes when they do Dawn up like that curly to swing in for 4. I'll like counter out because then that means they have to commit like another, like preferably a 5K, right? So at least I'm not taking that to face. So there's definitely some benefit.
Now, I just thought of a card, but I'll segue this card into another card, okay? So let's talk about 7-cost Doflamingo, actually, right? Do you know 7-cost Doflamingo? Well, I guess he's from the trial deck. You should know what he does, right? So. Just bounces. I've always had a problem with this card because it didn't have any counter, right? And it only bounces, so it's kind of. I felt it was useless into red or law.
It's been that card's kind of been a weird card for me throughout the time I've been playing blue. As I mean, you guys might not know this, but I've been playing Dofi since like the beginning of time, like OP01. I've been playing in Dofi's always been around since the game's been released, so. But I've never really been a fan of it. It's a 7 for 7, which I'm not really like too keen on. It's I wish it could be a little bit stronger. The fact that it doesn't have counter power does hurt its playability in my opinion. And its ability to bounce is only relevant in like specific matchups. Like if you're playing green, for example, it's amazing against green, or sometimes black is really useful again. Sometimes purple is useful against, but I think the full spectrum of the meta right now, it's really it hurts to play that card more than,
the only benefit I see is if you need to play it and you need to like have Dawn open for like a Love Mellow, right?
Counters,
that's the but segueing that card, there's a card pretty close to it next set, Soja King, right? Do you know what Soja King does?
Yeah.
He returns a 6 cost and draws 2 and trashes 2.
What's his power?
He's a 6K power.
So it's like 7 for 6, right?
Yeah, but he has a 1K counter. That's his upside.
1K, draw 2, discard 2, and then bounce a 6 or less, right? On play.
Yeah.
It's an interesting card and one I'll probably test, but I'm not too excited about it personally.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think on curve, this card definitely looks not bad. Especially, I like the draw 2, ditch 2 can be pretty useful. I know it messes up the top of our deck, but that can be pretty useful in a lot of Kuma Pacifista situations, right? When you need to draw a Pacifista. And
I think it might be a good card in like decks running heavy on the top ends.
Yeah, because you can ditch your top ends.
Cycle through them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you have like 2 Mihawks in hand playing Zoro, like. Okay, so now Soja King becomes the best card in your deck.
Yeah, and the very worst in most decks, you just use it as a 1K counter, right?
Exactly.
So It's not the worst. So it might you people will probably test it. I've heard Blue's doing not bad in set 3, right? As kind of like a rogue deck, but like
Yeah,
it's in
I
Japan.
think the main heck yeah. I'm really excited for Dofi in OPO3. The card I'm most excited for has got to be that event, man. Pay 4 bottom deck, what is it, a 5 or less?
5 or less, yeah, it has the same trigger effect. Yeah.
That card is that card is really good. Like it's just a huge tempo loss, and it's our answer to a lot of like it's Blues, and it's literally Blues like best interaction up to that point. Because before then, like in this current format, our only interaction is teach. Like before 7 Dawn, it's like we have a bounce 3 or less. Like not very good. And then Jinbei, it's not really interaction when your opponent gets to choose when it happens. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. So on your 5 or even 7 Dawn turn before in set 3, because I'm thinking in set 3 you still play Mihawk, right? You can use this, and then even if your 9 Dawn turn, if you don't have a Mihawk, you can use this and Dofi skill, right? So
absolutely,
yeah,
it's a good card, and it's definitely gonna be ran in Dofi.
Yeah,
for sure.
Is Alvida dropped for other 2K counters like the?
I'm gonna actually so the new 2K counter, the one that draw 2 discard 2. I think I'm gonna cut my I run for my deck. I run 3 sets of 2K counters. I'm running the Impel Down 2K. I'm gonna take him out for the one for 2K.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. But for me, who doesn't run those, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, you don't run that.
Alvida is almost never relevant. So that other card might be relevant.
I think it is.
More.
I think it's like going back to like Soja King. That's one of the arguments why it's such a good card, is because it helps you cycle through like dead cards in your hand. You know what I mean? Like it's worth.
Even if you're ditching a 2K counter, it might be worth.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if you have like my past example, like 2 Mihawks in hand playing Zoro. Like, okay, yes, I'm playing a 0 character just to draw, but this 0 character is gonna kill like your Nami next turn by just attaching the 2 Dawn. Like, it's still worth it.
Yeah. The only thing is that Alvida comes in. Will it ever come in set 3 to be a thing? I think it's still like it's just something you don't use. Yeah, you just use a 2K counter.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. I can see in your position why it would be kind of tricky. What you can try, maybe like, I don't know, you can go like 2 and 2 maybe, or like. You know, switch it up, like run one less. No, I mean, obviously you can't run less Mihawk.
Because I mean, I used to run the 2K counter, the 3/4 Bon Clay, right? But then I'm like, wait, Alvida.
Oh yeah.
I can at least attach 1 Dawn to him and just swing, right?
Right.
And for 5, but I'm like, wait, Alvida's actually can be used into green, so
yeah.
Especially if Kid shows up, I think Kid will still show up in set 3 as well. So.
I wonder. I'm really curious. I know green is. Kid is starting to show up again in OPO2 format. I'm wondering if he's still gonna be like, that menace that it was in set 1 in OPO3.
I mean, there's a removal card in the form of a Katakuri, right? It can remove Kid.
Oh, just like send something to life, right? Isn't it the Katakuri?
Yeah. So you put that. You just go ahead and put it at the bottom of their life. Yeah,
you're never gonna be able to play your 8-drop if it's your last life. You're gonna die, right? I'd be miserable. But no, that's so good actually. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. The yellow has a global answer already.
I think the main thing is that Whitebeard's still really, really good in set 3, and it got better because the new Marco.
You're only gonna get worse, right?
Yeah, the new Marco is good. So yeah,
dude, that on play kill a 3K that can bring himself back, dude. That's insane.
Yeah,
and thank God they said only on your turn. They have that clause, the on play kill something on your turn.
Yeah,
Because that would have been ridiculous if they can bring it back and like pop something else.
But that's gonna be the blue
Get attacked.
way. We have to bottom deck Marcos. You know, that's always gonna be a nice little blue thing that we can bottom deck their Marcos instead.
Yeah, dude. Blue that's what makes blue good, because we can bottom deck. There's no
like, when I'm bottom decked
to getting bottom decked, except like digging through your deck again. You know, like you're not getting this card again, man. I'm sorry, he's gone for good. And like no on KO effects, no returning.
I guess we gotta bottom deck Nami cards then. You know, just so Shay can't deck out.
Give him one more card.
Oh, we'll have to see how that goes too. I don't know how. I don't think a Nami's oppressive, right? But it's,
you know what? I've been personally testing Nami on the sim, and I haven't had much luck with it. Have you been testing it at all?
No, I just kind of go through theoreticals in my head, essentially, or people I talk to. So
ever since they banned Momoji, the deck just feels like slow. The only times where it can be like really like a menace is if you're getting all your triggers. Like the deck runs like 15 trigger events, and you're relying a lot on these events to just give you like free draws. Like you're running all the events like draw you 2 cards when they get triggered. And when it happens, it's like great, but man, like I don't want to rely on luck to win a game, you know? It doesn't feel too good.
Yeah.
And with Whitebeard getting a 1-cost searcher, and then you got Buggy searching for events now, like I think Red is only gonna become more of a powerhouse when set 3 comes out.
And that's only around the corner. Like,
how many more weeks we got? Like
I think it's 3 weeks? I think it comes out in June, right? I believe so, or maybe I think it comes out in the end of June.
That's what I thought.
So this OPO2 meta is almost over, but decks can't get worse. By the way, guys, decks can never get worse. They can only get better, right? I guess relatively compared to everything else, they can get worse.
Unless you're banning cards like Boatbeard, maybe.
Yeah, or Emoji.
But even then, Boatbeard is gonna get better next
time. Oh, dude, we should
play
Moji now in Doflamingo. You ever think about that? We ever think about that one?
I have considered it. I've thought about running it actually in Ivankov. Like it'd be like extra draw, you know, some discard like extra draw in that deck. But
yeah, no, that deck's a top end deck. So I don't. Yeah, you're not running 1/3s.
Yeah, I'm kind of like over Ivankov after I went like X and 3 in the tournament, because I just drew like all my big cards.
Oh really? Like, what have you been doing lately then? What's your plans for locals lately?
A mix between Zephyr and Doflamingo right now. I'm just like playing with my ratios on Dofi, and then Z is my truly like my fun deck.
Yeah. A lot of people love Z. You're like the other content creator I talked about before who just loves Z. You know, the went from Dofi to playing Z.
Yeah, dude. I mean, when you get the 10-drop Kuzan and Z and you stick it, game over. It's so strong when you have the 10-drop. But before then, it's such a struggle. You're like grinding it out to get to 10 Don to play the 10-drop. And sometimes you don't even see it and you just lose the game. It's very sad. Yeah. What's your pet deck for the format?
Well, I still just only play Doflamingo at locals, but it's Magellan, right? I have a really good Magellan deck. I have people that come to me for Magellan advice. I tell them you need to play 3 or 4 Thunder Bagua. I think this card in any purple deck is a good card. If your deck can afford to go down to 2 life and then spam this, but it makes sense in that deck because you're gonna minus Dawn with Magellan, right?
True.
You're gonna minus Dawn with Magellan, so you're gonna get to that point where you're actually gonna have Thunder Baguas in hand, and you're at 2 life. And so that means when that happens, when you have a Thunder Bagua, you go up to 10 Dawn basically immediately, right? When you use like 1 Thunder Bagua and like use like 1 Impel Dawn blocker, right?
Dude, it's so good. Pay 2, get 4K, and ramp 1. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, as long as you have 2 life, that's the problem. Expensive. You have to actually get to 2 life, which actually might be hard. Right?
It's actually I personally run Bagua in Zephyr because you get to 2 so fast.
Yeah.
And with Bagua, it gets me to 10 that much quicker. So
yeah. And the thing is, if you're not guarding, your hand's huge, right? So when you get to that point, you're at 10 Dawn, you have 9 cards in hand,
and you're gonna like you're gonna play like a 10 cost, right? Start doing stuff. But I'm playing queens and having Dawn up for a Judgment of Hell, right? You're not doing Judgment of Hell stuff. I am, right? So it's just really. Yeah, but mine's just straight up Judgment of Hell. That makes it so the opponent can't play the game at that point. When Judgment of Hell's active,
basically should just read like skip your opponent's combat because it's insane. Minus 3k2 characters. Like you could play around it, sure, but you're still losing out on 6k worth of attack.
And actually, a lot of players don't know how to play against around it because they don't play against it often. But since I play it, I go super wide. I had faced against Magellan at locals. I just went super wide, and you can just swing for 8s or 5s.
Yeah.
So they can't do it. Like if they do it, what are they gonna do? And then you're like, okay, you can still put 3 Dawn on your leader and pay 1 to swing for 5 is use Dofi skill.
Exactly.
Because you're already gonna put 1 on that. But
yeah, it's just 1 more Dawn. So for Dofi players, it's like, okay.
Yeah. But you want to go as wide as possible. Even like your 2K cards like are fine. Like your Peronas. You'll swing with those for 5. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
it just depends on the board state, but you have a lot of options when it comes to that. But yeah, that card I think it's like it's gotta be the best purple event.
I think that one should have had an alt art. I think that's like personally.
That would be so cool. It's sad they missed out on so many opportunities in the past sets to do like a dope alt art, but they're starting it now in OPO3, so hopefully they
for an event
later on.
Yeah, but the problem is sometimes you might pull that and be like, oh, I pulled this alt art, right? But like
I'm sure somebody's gonna trade for an OPO3. Like, what isn't it? Isn't it the Fire Emperor?
Yeah, like people will still want it, but like this could have been, this could have been like a Nami leader, like right?
I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah, this could have been Soja King, bro. What the heck? Right?
Soja King, could have been Manga Soja King.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever really jump into Manga Soja King territory. Maybe I'll play one if I get one.
Dude.
So
I don't know. I'm scared to pull a Manga Soja King because
you have to play it.
I like OCD. I can't be staring at one Manga Soja King.
It's gonna be the last damage in your life, dude, and it's not gonna be the one you need. That's
saved my life. Hey, at least it has 1k counter.
Yeah, at least it does that. I faced against the last round of the one I got 10th in. He needed a 2k counter out of his life to win a Whitebeard, but it was his Manga Ace. I was just like, it was so funny to me because in every card game I've ever played, the highest rarity card ends up being the last card coming out. In your damage, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the most annoying thing because those cards don't have like any value in counter, right?
Right, like you're playing the game looking forward to see your most expensive card, and you don't see it all game. You're like, where the hell is it? And you take your last life, and it's like,
oh, put it there.
I just lost. Yeah,
but that's exactly what happened, and that will happen with Soja King too. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I don't take to liking that card because that's an expensive investment for sure.
I'm actually in the Soja King arc too for One Piece. And
are you now?
Yeah, it's kind of like the comedic relief. It just comes out of nowhere. Usopp. I don't even think you met Usopp in the actual anime yet, being in episode 6, right?
Oh no, I was just joking. I think I'm like season 1, like episode something. But I was in season.
What's happened?
Usopp already.
Oh, they met. Okay, all right, yeah. Yeah, because he just Usopp. I want to give a spoiler. Okay, Usopp. Is that okay if I give a spoiler?
Oh no, I don't care. That's
Usopp
fine.
leaves the crew. Okay, he leaves the crew, but he still wants to go help save somebody. Save Robin. Okay, so he puts on a persona and makes this mask. And he makes up Soja King. He comes from the island of the snipers. And there's like a song for Soja King. And so like every episode he's in, it's like Soja King, island of the snipers. It's like something like that.
He has his own theme song?
Yes. Soja King has his own theme song. You'll probably hear it. And it's very comedic, right?
I need to watch that arc. Like I just need to watch. I honestly just need to watch One Piece.
Honestly, I started it when the anime came out. Sorry, when the card game came out. So what was that? What, December to now? I'm 270 episodes in. So
270. Wow.
yeah,
Still
I mean,
going.
the thing is, I watched a lot, and then I like slowed down like an episode a week at some point because I
Does
didn't.
Whitney watch One Piece with
No,
you?
she doesn't
Or
watch
is she,
any
like,
any
not
One
into it?
Piece. No.
She's like, One Piece stinks.
She watches
What
she
are
watches
these
anime
crap-
that I like too. We watch anime together, so yeah.
What's your guys' favorite anime?
I think Konosuba is our favorite, but
Konosuba? I love
Demon Slayer,
Konosuba.
Demon Slayer as
Oh,
well.
dude.
I showed her Goblin Slayer. She liked it too, but
I love Demon Slayer.
she really liked My Hero as well. So
I like My Hero.
it's all the standard really good animes, right? But she hasn't
Attack on
seen.
Titan, you guys get into that?
She's watched a lot of the newer Attack on Titan, right? So she's kind of out of the loop of a little bit, but I catch her up, right?
Yeah. It got kind of weird, right?
Yeah, the new season's weird. Yeah, it's definitely, even for me who's watched the other stuff, it's kind of weird.
I'm like, where are you guys going with this, man? Like, where are you taking this? I'm very confused.
Yeah, it's some weird idealistic thing, but
yeah,
I end up watching some weird Life in Another World kind of thing. Oh, Spy X Family. It's just very good stuff. That's like very standard now. Yeah,
all the mainstream.
Yeah,
I mean, it's mainstream for a reason.
But she hasn't gotten to stuff like Death Note or Hunter x Hunter or.
Sure. Yeah, that's some of the older anime, like, you know, that we watched in like high school.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess your high school, dang.
My high school, I'm old.
But she's watched like Brotherhood and stuff too, so it's just
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
You guys watched the original?
Oh, we didn't watch the original Full Metal. I've watched the original Full Metal, but it's different. It's a little different, and it's a lot slower. Yeah. So if I'm like, Brotherhood's so much better, dang. And so
it's because they made the original before the manga ended, so they had to like create some of their own storyline near the end. And Brotherhood is actually the true, you know, manga.
What?
Anime. Yeah, that's what really happened. Like, they were showing it like on like Toonami, and like it was an ongoing show, but they wanted to finish it before the manga ended. So they just made up some stuff
that was way too confusing and way too dark.
Yeah, and nobody liked it.
I don't even think, was there even a good story at the end of it? I don't think so. It was like bad.
I don't remember. I don't think it was very good. No, it was not very good. People were mad that they ended the way they did, but so they like redid it with Brotherhood, and that was like you said, way better.
But another thing is too, and it getting you know, girlfriends or significant others into anime is dub, right? You want to, sometimes dub is the way to go, and there are some good dubs, right? So
What's your favorite?
My favorite dub, I think Konosuba is a very good dub, right? Like, actually super good. I think it's a super good dub, right?
I need to watch it in dub.
I think let me think here. What's another really good dub? It's kind of a Netflix one too. Psyche, right? The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. Is that
one good?
That one's super good. That one's hilarious. Have you seen that anime before?
See, I'm not much for like comedy anime normally, because my girl likes like more of the shonen like action stuff. We don't really watch
that one is gut wrenching. It's pretty good. It's like I'd like 9 out of 10 in a comedy, right? And like, it's not like Gintama. I never even watched a lot of Gintama because it's a little too old for me, right? But Psyche K is pretty good, but Brotherhood's also a really good dub, and Spy Family, right? I think all 4 of those are good dubs.
Okay. Damn, I got options. The dub has definitely come a long way from way back when. Like, I'll give them that. It's gotten a lot better than it was in like the older times. Like, they will literally like hire like somebody drawing, like, you know, doing the animation. They'll just hire them like to do the voice acting work. They could hire anybody on the street. Like, they don't really have like, you know, a filter for.
And I watch One Piece sub. I watch most anime sub, but
yeah,
I don't know how is one. Do you know how One Piece is dub? I have no idea. Like, not the 4 kids, just like, I just know friends. They say, "Oh, I've never even watched dub." Like, they just. This guy, he's only watching One Piece because he's playing the card game, and he's like, "It's really good, but I only watch it dub." So when I get to know dub, he's gonna be like, "What do I do?" Right?
Where are they at with the dub? I'm curious. Actually, are they like on episode 757 or something?
It's something far up, but not far up enough. right? So I have
Did they
no idea.
Yeah, I'm curious to see because I'll watch the dub because the show. Okay, so one thing I'll say is I'll watch the show if I could like listen to it in the background while I'm like doing other stuff. Because like the first couple seasons, it's pretty grindy, right? The animation is not as good. Like,
I think some of it can be, but I think in sub, I think pretty good. I think the main thing is the voice acting actually is pretty good back then too. And you'll notice about all of the characters, they all have their unique laugh, right? And you'll watch clips of things, and every character has a very unique laugh. Like if someone laughs in One Piece, you'd be like, oh, what laugh is this, right? Whose laugh is this?
Right.
And people think Doflamingo has the best laugh in One Piece too, by the way, just so you know. Yeah, because it's a very it's a very, very evil laugh, right? It's pretty it's very, very good. That's so like he's known as the man with the smile, the man with the laugh, right? But every character has his own laugh, and Usopp copies everyone's laugh.
But I watched like a YouTube video where they were saying like some characters that have eaten like a devil fruit, they will like say like a form of their power or like something about the fruit that they ate that like kind of affects how they laugh. Like, look it up. It's like
that's too much insight. There's a lot of theories.
Their laugh, like they're like they give a hint of what their power is based on their laugh, essentially.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, you gotta. Okay. I'm not joking. Look it up on YouTube.
This is some weird conspiracy.
There's some crazy laughs in One Piece.
What's the craziest conspiracies you've ever heard of One Piece? Like, I know you're not too big into One Piece yet, like watch the anime, but like, listen, I play this card game, and these guys tell me the most craziest bullshit theories that you would.
No, the craziest for me it has to be that there's a theory that says Crocodile is Luffy's.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm like,
do you know? Did they tell you why?
No, it's like something with Impel Down, and then he turned into a woman.
I'll tell you why. I think Ivankov's power is to change sex. Right? It can change sexes. Okay, so when you're playing Ivankov, think of that. By the way, right?
No, I knew that part. Yeah, I watched a little bit.
Yeah,
like I watched like one episode, so I can understand
Ivankov what he does. Deathwing King. Yeah.
Or she.
So it's so Crocomom. And this is why, I guess, during Paramount War, when they went to go save Ace, Luffy went to go save Ace, Crocodile went and fought Mihawk, basically defended Luffy. And that's really weird because Crocodile's like almost killed Luffy like 3 or 4 times. Right. Like before, like straight up, like literally Luffy was like dying, and like it made no sense why Luffy was alive. Right. Like he basically lived by pure luck. And so and then out of nowhere, it's like he's defending him, and it's like, maybe who is Crocodile's mom? I know who is Luffy's mom. Like no one knows who his mom could be.
So people saw him defend Luffy and thought it was weird, and they automatically was like, it's gotta be his mom.
Well, they think who is most likely, right? And then they like, oh, Crocomom, right? That just made no sense. That made no sense.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to this, but maybe somebody watching this can explain more as to the reason why, because I don't get it. I don't get it, you guys. That's a weird one. What other weird ones are there?
Something Shanks is part of the world government. Like
I saw that recently.
Something like that. Something I don't even know. And for the character that gets like the least amount of screen time, he's like the most loved character of all time, right? Shanks. Yeah.
Like so they like put so much veil and secrecy to his persona and like his power. Like nobody really knows what he can do. And I people are pretty much like assuming that he's gonna be like final boss or something in the show. In the manga.
Something weird. Yeah. So weird spoilers, and I'm like, this is so weird. Whatever. It's an anime. We'll just deal with it when it comes. So
right. Yeah, we're ways out here in the card game world to finding out all that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
until then, we'll just read our other manga, right? So
Exactly.
and stuff like that. I've catched up on Rooster Fighter and is there any anime you're in? Is there any anime that you're looking forward to? By the way, before
I mean, for me,
new season.
like every Sunday, we're looking forward to Demon Slayer. That's
Okay.
like
I'm waiting
the
till
anime.
episodes come in and then we'll watch it all together because I don't like
Oh my
watching week by
God.
week.
Dude, you know what? It's my biggest regret, but also I don't regret doing it because man, it's getting pretty crazy. I'll tell you that much.
Is there any new anime that's coming out soon? Because I know they did a release of like a bunch of anime that were coming out, and one for me, I think it's the end of this year or maybe even longer. Is Solo Leveling.
I've never heard of it.
It's I just read the manga of it. I'm almost finished with it. Yeah. He's in modern day Korea, right? But they have to go into a dungeon in order to like basically make a living. Like not everybody, but they can. They're like hunters, right? And they basically kill monsters in there for like things and they can sell in the real world because he needs to pay for his mom's hospital bills. But he's extremely weak, but the guy gets extremely strong because for some reason it basically turns into a video game for him, right? Something snapped and it turned into a video game for him. So he has to complete goals like one goal is he has to get stronger. So he has to do, I think, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and run 10 kilometers, right, a day in that day. And if he doesn't, gets a severe punishment, like you're stuck in the desert for like 2 hours or something, right? Or no, for a full 24 hours, and you're chased by monsters. That's his punishment. So basically, he gets like super strong.
Actually happen, or is it just like he got some brain damage and all of a sudden he sees the world in a different way? Or
no, well, he basically got killed, right? But for some reason, because he passed some test, right, while getting killed, that it almost like did something. And there's a lot of anomicity of why that happened. But now basically he sees like a screen that has items and stuff, right?
Yeah, like
but people go and party. People go into the dungeon as a party, okay? But he goes in by himself because basically everyone else is just like he doesn't need anybody else to do it. But to go into a dungeon you need 10 people. So basically some guy hires him, right? We'll go in us two, but we'll hire 8 people just to sit out of the dungeon. Right,
so like have 9 people sit outside, like
8 people sit outside. The one guy with him just to carry his stuff, but he did souls the whole dungeon, right? But
he's that strong.
Yeah, he's just that strong. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah,
dude. I will say though that is a great spin on what they're doing nowadays, where it's like, oh, I go into the video game world and like in the video game world now I'm getting stronger, and for this one it seems like it's like, oh, we're in the real world, and I'm able to get strong in the real world.
It's a twist on an isekai essentially, almost, right? Like it's a twist on Sword Art. And is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Have you ever watched Danmachi?
Dude, they got those for so many different anime now. They got like, oh, I'm in a new world and I'm a slime now, and like, oh, I'm in a new world and I'm a demon or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, there's a hard, and I can't. It's some of them are really hard, right? Like some of them are pretty bad, but some of them are pretty good. So
yeah, I think Sword Art just like created a whole new. Or it started with Dot Hack. Actually, remember Dot Hack?
No.
Yeah, it's same idea, but it was like way back when, like Toonami days.
Yeah, I think isekais are very good though. Like, yeah,
it's fun.
They're fun, yeah. Shield Hero, Demon Lord.
Oh, dude, I like
Demon Lord? Not Demon Lord.
Yeah, Overlord.
Overlord, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Overlord.
Then Isekai Quartet. They just bring it all together with Isekai Quartet. Have you seen Isekai Quartet?
No,
they take 4 isekais, they make them all chibis, okay? And they all get sucked. They're already in another world, but they go to another world where they're all classmates. For no reason, like
living a normal life,
like yeah, but like they have to be classmates together, right? That's just part of the rules.
Interesting.
But they're still the same characters, and they know they're in another world, right? So they're like, well, in order to get out of here, it looks like we have to obey the rules of this world, so we have to go to class.
Right. We're in a world in another world, like.
Yeah, but they're all chibis and it's all really entertaining. They have a good intro. It's
you
good.
guys love your comedies, huh? Have you guys ever watched like any of like the drama anime, like the really sad ones, like Clannad and like no? Have you ever
No.
watched an anime that made you cry, like a sad anime?
I feel like the anime that made me almost cry is like My Hero. Like they just say something really
My Hero.
inspirational. I'm like, oh my god, Midoriya, oh my god. You know? Like, yeah, they do an emotional
Dude,
spin
Demon
to
Slayer
it.
made me cry, tear up for sure.
Really?
Mugen Train.
I don't think that made me cry.
That didn't make you cry? That was
No,
so sad.
I feel like they drag out the anime a little too much, right? The episodes. That's my problem. It's like yeah.
They do drag out the movie. I'll give you that. It was kind of slow, to be honest. I'm just like,
Oh, I didn't watch Mugen Train movie. I just watched the episodes.
oh, dude.
I
you
watched the
gotta watch
episodes.
Mugen Train.
I watched the episodes. There was no difference. Mugen Train movie is just
Oh.
all the episodes put together.
I thought it was. Wait, they made those episodes? I thought the Mugen Train was like a standalone.
No,
like,
I'd probably recommend
storyline.
watching the movie, but it essentially was it basically was a bunch of episodes they just string together.
So you watched the episodes as they were coming out, or whatever?
No, we watched them when they were all
Or
out.
like whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know that they made. I thought it was just a movie, and they never did like the episodes. And
No.
like,
No, they're really
Oh.
weird with it. Did you watch the last movie they just made?
they made another one.
Yeah, it was the last 2 episodes of the Village arc, and then
Mhm.
1 episode of the next arc, which was the first episode of the village, right? Of the Swordsman Village.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Really.
yeah, it was kind of a disappointment because you'd go there for you're gonna be there for over an hour. They just played all the intros, right?
Yeah.
Like I could have showed up 40 minutes late to that and then just watched the first episode. Yeah, I would have probably done that. Right?
Yeah, they just get you because if you stay to the end, you get to
Mhm.
watch a new not before seen episode.
Yeah, well, we watched
how
that
they
first
tell the
episode
story.
and it just had lots of Matsuri boobies, We're like, oh, okay. This
yeah.
is weird in the theater.
I mean, nothing really happens. Honestly, it was just like a lot of intro. So you're sitting in a theater for an hour for that. It's kind of like,
Yeah, but you watched the
my
previous
goodness.
you watched the last 2 episodes. There was a lot of action for the previous arc, right? But I'm like,
Oh,
we've
yeah,
already
dude.
seen this though, right?
so hype though. I love that.
Yeah. Do you have
How
like
dope
do you have a
must
favorite
it have
character?
been? I love shoot.
Like, okay, well, favorite character, then favorite like action thingy. Like maybe
I
like
like
'cause they're
Nezuko.
action.
I'm a Nezuko fan,
Mm-hmm.
but I like who's that kid in the yellow?
Oh yeah,
The lightning bolt guy.
Zenitsu right here. Got one of these right here.
Zenitsu. I like Zenitsu too.
Yeah, I think I like. I
I'm a
hate that
Nezuko
he's
fan.
too annoying, but I love his the comedy of how strong he is actually like 10 out of 10.
I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious, and I do think he's annoying. His voice is just like
And he's
ear
he's too loud in the movie too, like on the screen, and you have to like turn it down when he's like, yeah, he's actually too annoying no matter what.
Please, God, let
But
it
when he
stop.
falls asleep, it's like the coolest character ever.
right, like this is the Zenitsu I need to see all the time. Like he's just killing everybody. Like this dude is badass. Like no, but Nezuko is that's gotta be my girl. Like she just got that power at the end of season 2 where she can like get all the fires and like,
Yeah.
get,
I don't
crazy
understand
time.
how she gets bigger, and all of a sudden she gets boobs. So I think of things in weird ways. Because
I know,
she
like-
actually gets like, I'm like, what the heck? They have some culture in this anime? Dang.
He's the fan service character for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. We need more of that in One Piece. Oh wait, that's like a lot of the anime.
Yeah,
So
but you know what we're lacking in the card game? We're lacking women, a fan base leader card that's actually good. Like the only fan base leader card right now is Uta, and she's
Mhm.
terrible. So give me like a broken like.
yeah, we need a
neutral
we need a
leader.
Boa Hancock. Yeah, you should need Boa Hancock.
Boa. Yeah, give me a Boa leader. I'll be down for that.
Yeah,
That'd be amazing.
she'll be a leader at some point, probably. Right?
I don't
No idea
know.
what she does. I kind of.
But when
Do
that's
you ever
gonna be,
feel?
I don't know.
I know. Do you know what Doflamingo's skill is in the anime?
He like doesn't he do like string powers?
Yeah, he's like a puppet
Yeah.
master. He can like control people, so they fight for him basically if they're weak enough.
Right.
Right. And so
Yeah.
because of that, I thought it was kind of weird. They made that 10 cost green card be so they can't attack. But it's like almost like he's allowing them not to attack, right? But I thought it'd be cool because a lot of card games do this, is you control a character and then force them to attack the other opponent's leader. You know?
Oh, yeah.
That would be cool. And then kill it. And then kill it.
In Magic, the other game I play, there's a card that lets you like control the other player's turn. Like you literally like see their hand and you get to do what they do for a turn. Yeah, I'm not even joking. Like it's pretty insane, and it's like
it must be a pretty
like
nuts condition to do it though.
Yeah, because then you'll just go like, because in that game, it's like if you could attack with your character and like they could literally like die. You know what I mean? Like very easily.
Yeah.
So they just like make you attack with all your characters, and they just get blocked by your opponent. They just die. Like.
Okay, because in Vanguard, the way I'm thinking of it is you have a character on field, I control your character, or I control your leader, and that leader stands and attacks a character, right? So it can help clear board. That's interesting. But then it has to negatively affect the opponent in some way, right? So I feel like
do it like they do in Yu-Gi-Oh, like change of heart, you know, take control of their character.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. Take control of character and then just swing at another character. Yeah. I think bringing it to your side of the field would be kind of nuts. Yeah, it would fit more with Doflamingo. Is that what he does? But he's allowing them not to attack with this 10 cost, which is
like pinning them down or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but like, can anything do that? You know, why did it have to be
more flavor in One Piece? All right, like I like the fact that Law Leader card can like shambles. You know, that's shambles. It's shambles. It makes sense, right? But Dofi, you get to play a lot Warlord off top. What's the flavor in that? You know?
And how does Zoro power up his teammates? Shouldn't Zoro and Luffy like switch or something? Because doesn't
like inspire people, or maybe like Brook. You know, Brook can like inspire his people.
Yeah,
to, like,
why can't he give everybody 1K? You're right.
There you go. There should be that Zoro should have been Brook right there.
Brook, yeah, and Zoro should have been like, I don't know, get lost or something.
Yeah, honestly, Zoro would have made more sense if they made Luffy's ability like Zoro's ability, like Zoro gets buff, I don't know, and give Luffy like a better ability than that. Like, how does that pertain?
I think they were just making cards to begin with, and they're like, let's just put this character to it. I think that's how they make cards, by the way. They don't actually know what it's going to be called. They just design cards, and then after they know who it's going to be, and then they do the art. They actually don't do any of that. The only person I think that wasn't that was Law. They probably had Law in mind when they made that card.
You know what else? There's a new teach coming out in OPO3 that's a red card.
Yeah.
Yeah, on attack, he kills a 5k character, and then you draw a card, and he gains like 3,000 for the turn.
Okay.
So it kind of like fits the teach persona. Like, you like backstab somebody and you get stronger, and then you get a draw out of it, basically. Have you seen the card yet?
It KOs an opponent's card?
No, so it's I think it costs like 4 or 5, but it's a 4K.
Yeah. And you KO one of your own cards?
Yeah, you kill one of your own cards with power 4 or 5K or greater, and then you draw a card and he gains 3,000 attack.
Oh, why not kill like a low cost card?
I know. Well, the idea is basically like you go like Makino, like swing with like a Sunny, and then like kill it to draw, and then like make him strong.
Oh, it's a power, not a. Oh, yeah, that's very good. I like that card. I think that card's pretty good. It's definitely not bad.
And I believe it's a Whitebeard pirate card too. So it's
because he was at one point a Whitebeard pirate. That's right.
Yeah, so it does fit the theme of Teach, but yeah, no, they don't really do that too. Like, I don't know anything about Kid, but what about Kid is like a taunt? You know what I mean? I guess it's like what, you're magnetizing people into you, like.
Yeah, no, it just swing twice. That should have been Zoro. Oh no, that should have been Zoro swinging twice. Oh no, you're right.
Oh yeah, Zoro, that would be interesting.
Oh, that would have been a good green card actually. Oh.
Like, Nami, mill my deck, I win the game. Like, what?
Yeah, I think it's because she has to win in a different way. She can't win through normal battle,
Oh, she has to, like, outwit you or whatever.
Yeah, that's how she beats you.
She's so weak. She gotta
that's literally what she does. So
that's so sad.
So I think that fits really well, actually, with her, But
maybe I need to watch more of the anime.
yeah, but like, what would Usopp be? I don't know.
Jeez, man.
Usopp's like the beloved character of One Piece, so
What do you do? What can you do with Usopp? They could make him like a really weak card, but he can get like stronger as the game progresses.
He's a 3K power.
A 3K power, like at the end of each turn, increases card's power by 1,000.
But every counter is doubled. I don't know. Like it's just
right. Like what does a rush Usopp have anything to do with Usopp? Let's be real. Like you know, I mean I guess.
Yeah.
What is he like running around a lot?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we've probably got into like anime land, to like other topics. Is there anything else you want to talk about One Piece wise? One Piece card game wise?
Did we get into like pre-release at all? I know we kind of touched with
talked about OPO 2, but not OPO 3. What do you want to talk about OPO 3 pre-release?
Just like kind of like how it's gonna be handled. Do you know anything about it as of yet?
I think in a few weeks from now, actually it might be really soon, the signups will go up. You should just, whenever that happens, hopefully someone's smart and they at your Discord or something that you're in and say, it's up, please go sign up right now.
We haven't heard any announcement for it yet.
No, I don't even know what the winner card's gonna be. Hopefully it's a good card, because people will be competitive to win $100 card, you know. So
I was really disappointed with the smoker card. I have 4 winner smokers. And like, this card is worth nothing.
I sold it for 100 at the time, so because it was worth over 100. You didn't try to sell it right away?
200 when it first came out, and now what is it, like $30? It's insane. But aside from that, I think we covered a lot. Actually, we're on this call for how long?
Oh, dude, so long. I'm gonna have to edit this, and this is gonna be over a 2-hour call. So, but I'll segment it. Okay. I do appreciate it. If you ever have anything too, like you want to add to this, guys, and I'll be having some guests soon. I don't know if I'll have you on here, but maybe I will with a 3-way call. I think I'm having Ash and then possibly even Garrett Farrington as well.
Who's Garrett?
He does the Worst Generation podcast, I believe. Right? I think he got top 16 and he got top 8 in Peoria as well. He went undefeated in Swiss. So good player, obviously, and also makes content. So
yeah, I would definitely be interested in picking those players' brains, because they have really great insight on.
And when we do, I will message you to see if we can get you on as a returning co-host guest. Just to because especially Ash, because we're Doflamingo players, and that would really be good to have.
Yeah, it's super interesting to hear your guys' insight, because I have a very different insight than what you guys have. Like a lot of times when we have discussions, I notice like, the reasonings that you guys have behind your deck choices. It's like, it makes sense,
But why? But this works for you.
Why?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I need to hear the why. That's the most important thing. So,
right, did you want to do any shout outs at all before we get going?
Shout out to everybody watching this. You guys are awesome people. Shout out to anyone that is already subscribed to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the YouTubes.
All right. Appreciate it. Remember to pick up your Loser Dawn and subscribe. I will most likely do a giveaway next stream. Thing. Some Loser Dawn. So I'll try to do something. If you're a subscriber and you comment, I'll probably do some sort of giveaway. It's just, it'd be nice, right? It'd be so nice. So
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
I have like 20 packs of the event 2 unopened. It's like, I need to do something with these. Like, I might as well do some kind of giveaway.
I think that's a good idea. All right. All right. We have a good one. Okay.
All right, man. Good talking to you, Sage.